Army.com/AIA Sports.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Bill Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Dell's team live in Phoenix 2 days only at the Embassy Suites Phoenix Biltmore. Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. Register now at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. That's GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Code 2024.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harman Solar is with us. And, of course, you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I'm a little worried about Salty Blue. I don't know how he got to this, but last night, right after we left, he texted this in. And I don't know if we're ever going to hear from him again. He said, well, the first thing he said at 6:01 was, screw this guy in 15 minutes. I have no idea the hell he's talking about. Maybe the guy in the betting show that's on after us, because a little bit later he says, I just lost $10,000 because I took the Phillies run line.
Oh, no.
So I think Salty Blue is probably suffering from broken fingers, kneecap. I'm not sure what. Might have watched his brother get beaten into a hole in some cornfield somewhere. I don't know what Salty Blue is up to.
You're supposed to call 1-800-NEXT-STEP before that happens.
Yeah. You just lost $10,000 because you took the Phillies run line.
But here's the thing that is scaring me. Salty Blue. Now, you guys think for a second, Major League Baseball umpire, who does that sound like?
Oh, no. This guy always mentions that he's umping games for third graders and stuff. So, yeah, it's not, it ain't who you think it is.
Gone too soon.
Yeah. Well, or not soon enough. So today is, this is not the right day for it to be this day, because everybody's very sad. Oh, Twitter is nothing but people crying about the Coyotes. Everybody's very sad.
All right.
They win out on a win. Hey, that's great. But now we don't got a team. We don't got a team. And I swear to you, I don't understand why NHL is pretending like they're still going to want to give Alex Morello a team in 5 years or within 5 years, because they're not. They're like, hey, if you build an arena, we'll give you an expansion team. This is the last guy you want owning the damn team. Look what just happened. We shouldn't have to put up with this guy twice.
Don't we have an arena?
Funny thing about that. Yeah. Why isn't the NHL, Gary Bettman, sitting there like, hey, if you just paid the damn taxes, why are they not holding his feet to that fire?
That's what I'm saying.
But still, I think I saw something where they either had a press conference today or they're going to have one tomorrow. Why? Why would you do that? What? Shut up. We don't care what you have to say. There's nothing you're going to say right now that's going to make us go, hey. Shut up.
Yeah, but that's what they want. They want some level of interest in hockey still in Arizona, because I think that Phoenix is a big enough city. They want to be in Arizona.
Well, what's a better press conference? Is a better press conference Bettman walking out by himself or Bettman dragging the corpse of Alex Morello with him?
So let me ask you guys, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, and I'm just going to go ahead and ask it. Wouldn't the NHL and the ownership group in the NHL completely vet some, guy that wants to come in and buy a team like Alex Morello to make sure that he's a guy that's, going to pay his bills. He's going to manage this team correctly. They were here for 28 years. And then Morello comes in less than 2 years. Boom, chakalaka. They're out of here.
Yeah, they should not let him continue. And why they're doing this, or maybe this is I mean, even you don't even have to pretend. You don't have to bring Alex Morello out for a press conference with Gary Bettman. You don't have to pretend. So if that's real, the hell with this. The hell with this.
I don't think that the NHL is picky. I think that that's what it is.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So you don't think that they care that they have a guy that is coming here, taking a franchise that's been in the Arizona market for 28 years, and he has destroyed it in less than 2 years?
I mean, clearly not. None of their actions suggest that this is a problem for them, including giving him the team in the first place.
What if they gave him a team knowing that this would happen? Maybe this is what the NHL wanted.
That's a long game, though, Ralph.
But think about it. I mean,
from there to here,
in Salt Lake,
the NHL is famous for moving teams around. It happens all the time. This is not an uncommon thing in the NHL. You see teams constantly moving.
So
right? The Phoenix market has had issues because of ownership. They haven't been able to secure a deal. There's been all this garbage going on. Salt Lake wants a team bad. They've got a huge facility they're building. Let's move that team up there. The owners are going to make a few $100 million by doing that, which they did.
Yeah,
and now they can go ahead and they can position this city in the next 5 years to put a district together where they can build an arena and bring them another team. That's the plan. I mean, this is not uncommon.
But Morello.
Expansion team, Ralph?
Morello's just a pawn. I really think he is.
You think so?
I think he's just a pawn.
Because he's a part of the problem.
He might be a part of the problem, but in 5 years, he won't be. So if they're willing to wait, and
5 years and 1 day is all it takes.
Basically. So why, for
5 years and 1 second.
It does lend some credibility to what Ralph's saying.
I don't know if he's a pawn, but I think that he's like, at least at the time, they're like, well, we have a solution for the Morello problem, but there's no need for the pageantry. If you're gonna do it this way, then the whole 5 year window thing is just pointless.
But it's a show. He won't own the team.
Who are they showing this to?
The fans. I think what's going to happen when the Coyotes come back, and they will, this franchise will revive itself. He won't be the owner. Whether it's within 5 years or after 5 years, it won't. It's not how it's going to be. He will make his piece of money like he already did. Plus, he'll make money on the land, that whatever they're going to do with the land and the arena, they'll probably give him a play there to make some money, but he'll be out of ownership. I guarantee you, or he'll be a minority stake.
For 5 years, he has the first right of refusal.
He does, but we don't know the fine print of what that really means and what's really going on behind the scenes. I'm telling you, the NHL does this all the time. Look how many teams have moved.
All right.
The Atlanta Thrashers going for number 3.
Right. Atlanta, Colorado, Winnipeg. Yeah. I mean, it's constant.
Washington.
That Phoenix market has to have a team. It got a team because of Wayne Gretzky coming to LA and creating that buzz around hockey. Next thing you know, Phoenix gets a team. San Jose gets a team. It's needed to have a team here.
Where was the NHL when the cost of keeping a team here was just a little bit over $1 million to pay those taxes? Where was Gary Bettman in the NHL then? Because none of this needed to happen.
Well, didn't the NHL own the Coyotes for a period of time?
Well, not that period.
I think it was 2 or 3 seasons. The Coyotes took it from the original ownership, and they were committed to keeping it here in Phoenix. And the league itself, and I don't know how this works, owned the Coyotes. It was funded and taken care of by the NHL. And then the Morellos came in, and the NHL was so so happy to have an ownership group come in that they brought the Morellos in and gave them the opportunity to buy the Coyotes, and that's how this whole thing happened.
Yeah, but he comes in, he pays. I don't know what he paid for the team. Do you know? Do you remember?
There have been various reports. Some say $300 million, some say $475 million.
So he made a ton of money.
Either way,
So he comes in here for 2 years. He's playing the bad guy by getting him moved. He's making a ton of money in the transaction. Now he can help. He's got the rights to everything. He can help put something else in place and get out of the picture. I think he's a pawn. I really do. That's all he is.
I'm scared to death he'll stay in the picture. That's the thing that I don't want.
I don't see it.
I don't think he will either. And I think in mourning, what I did today is I wore my Kings alternate jersey, so you guys can
see that
a hockey
in mourning. Shut your
purple
face.
And yellow.
Just shut
I think
your
you should pull for the Kings.
Face.
You guys have an opportunity. You need a team.
Purple and yellow.
I'm upset that I have to actually go to LA now to see a game when I was to see him over here. So
Shut
but I
up.
wore this in
You-
honor of this.
You
so.
could go to Vegas with Jeffrey and I. So
No, he can't. Not after that. No,
oh,
you
never mind.
get your own damn ride.
Get your
I
own
didn't say
damn
anything.
right.
Never mind.
All right. Bruno Baller says Ralph is right. The Dallas Stars used to be the Minnesota North Stars.
Yeah.
Calgary Flames used to be the Atlanta Flames. No, we
Right.
get it. We know these things happen. But in
Yeah.
this circumstance, the reason it's so frustrating and heartbreaking is they've been here for 28 years.
28 years.
And I remembered something. This is what getting older does to you. I was at the very first game. I totally forgot about that. I had this memory because I remember I was sitting at the very first game in one of the suites, and there's some media types that were all hanging around there. And I remember hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And then I looked over, and Ron Hoon is just sitting there smiling at me, and I was like, "What do you want?" I was like,
The
"Why is it-"
Hooner.
Yeah,
The
like-
Hooner.
like, why are you smiling? And what he was doing is waiting until everybody came up to him and introduced, because like he's like, no, you come to me. And he's giving this smile like, you're going to come over and meet me. And he said, no, I'm not. I just never met him. Didn't meet him then either, but he's just sitting there smiling at me. Anyway, so
That's right.
that memory popped back into my head. It was 1996.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had that
well, I
little
would I
flickering
would like
flame of memory there.
to say this. I saw the sign off last night, and I saw Todd Walsh, and what a way to sign off the Coyotes last night with Todd Walsh. I felt the emotion in his sign off, and he talked about the history, and he talked about how everything came into being, and
That's
how
nice.
he was at the local rock radio station, and the Coyotes wanted to do something different, and he sold them on the idea of him coming on and being a part of this, and Todd Walsh. When you think Todd Walsh, you think Coyotes,
Well-
not Diamondbacks. You think Coyotes.
He's a better man, because after all this nonsense, I was signed off like Samuel L. Jackson. I'm like, it's it. I'm out. Mother effer you. And I just would have gone nuts. Last game. Why not?
Wow.
Well, class move by Todd Walsh.
Scorched earth
So-
as I leave.
The last
Damn.
30 minutes of Pulp Fiction would have just been Jeffrey on the mic. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But Todd did a great job. So
Yeah.
he's
and,
probably
you know,
not listening, but congratulations.
I saw plenty of stories and videos and posts and posts and posts. And it's like, there's no shortage of support for a team. It was never about the fans.
Oh,
This
no,
has never
no.
been about whether or not the fans would support the hockey. This has just been
Yes.
about one dumbass
Well,
who ruined it
yeah.
for everybody. And you can't allow that to happen. And I had higher expectations for the NHL to protect us from that one dumbass. Take the team back away from him, but why you got to take it away from Arizona?
See, but this is a win-win for the NHL.
It is.
This is a
Bastards.
win-win for the
Not-
NHL.
It's not that big of a win. You get so here's
Oh, I
what
think
happens.
it is.
The
I think it is.
$200 million that gets split between the teams, was that really worth it?
Well, that's not the issue here. The issue here is you're getting a franchise moving to Salt Lake City, which has been
You could have given them an expansion team.
Well, you could have, or you could give Arizona a franchise that's going to be an expansion team.
What's the difference?
You're taking a team already, and there's a market, a major market that does not have a place for the Coyotes to play at this time. Not because they don't have a place. It's because the Coyotes have been misplaced,
Right.
and now they're going to move that franchise to Salt Lake City. And in the next 4 to 6 years, you're going to see an expansion of the NHL, and they're going to give us one of those teams. I almost guarantee it.
It will. I agree.
I wonder if Ron Hoon was just smiling at my girlfriend at the time. She was really hot.
Maybe.
That could have been
I
that. Maybe
thought
I misjudged him.
I thought Hooner was married, though.
Oh, 1996.
Yeah, that matters.
I'm just saying. He was.
He's
it
got
was,
nice hair.
it was
I mean,
a weird smile. It was. It was like,
Mm.
yeah, you're gonna come
Well,
over here, aren't you? Like,
Mhm.
well,
He's got that kind of weird
you make
eyeballs.
me uncomfortable.
Mm.
Anyway, so I went into my favorites and I deleted the Coyotes out of my news feeds
I am so sorry.
because I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
do
about
that.
Salt Lake City now. I don't want to hear about that.
I mean, what don't you have like a favorite Coyote moment that you want to live in or talk about?
I remember going to a game with the family, and it was a really a nice time because I went with my wife and her son and her brother, and they had not been to a hockey game before. And watching them kind of unsure how it was going to go. We got some really nice seats too for this. And they just loved it. They loved everything about it. And they're like, man, we can't wait to go again. And we're like, yeah, it's just kind of a drive out here. So then when we heard there'd be a new arena that might be more centrally located, we got excited for that. So much for that. But as far as nice moments, I think that was probably one of my favorite moments with the Coyotes was showing a couple of people who've never watched hockey before the Coyotes and them immediately falling in love with it. That was a nice memory. How about you, Randy?
Well, I just remember when the Coyotes finally made the playoffs and they had they had Keith Kachuk out there and they were everybody was fired up here in Arizona about hockey and maybe a chance to move on. And the Dallas Stars wrecked that for us. But hey, I remember the whiteouts and the excitement of that playoff run for the Arizona Coyotes. I'll never forget that. I think that was wonderful.
Keon has no good memories of the Coyotes. He
wasn't here.
Yeah, he's been here for 3 years and he has his own team. So
I have one.
You actually have a good memory? Oh,
I do.
I keep forgetting how much of a bandwagon fan you are. Go ahead.
I wasn't.
Is it when the Kings beat the Coyotes?
It was 2012. It was 2012 in the Western Conference Finals. So I mean, that was one of the best 7-game series of hockey you'll ever watch. Both those teams went back and forth every game. I was at the final game when the Kings did finally win, but it was such a hard. I'm not trying to talk bad because it was such a hard fought series. And even such a great game to watch and to be part of it was awesome. I loved that series. I loved that game. That was when we won our first cup also, which was nice. But still, the Coyotes were very, very good. They were young. I mean, that was an amazing Coyote team. And I really thought in the next 2 years from there, they would win a cup. They never did, but they were just a really good team.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very diplomatic and polite moment for you.
Yeah.
That ends with the Kings winning. So suck it.
I love hockey. So.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess 99.3 FM is having some issues. So thank you for the heads up, everybody. I've passed your complaints along the appropriate department, and we'll see what happens. Let me know if 99.3 FM comes back on so I can tell them that too. Bruno Baller says, Ralph is right. Oh, I read that one.
You can read it again. It's okay.
Gee whiz. That's like the only time I've ever read that. I've ever heard that. Moist One says, hopefully, when the Suns get a new arena, well, the Suns don't need a new arena. Ain't nothing wrong with the America West Arena.
Yeah, they just had an upgrade, man. Come on.
The Fungus Footprint place.
He says, well, maybe Ishbia can help get the NHL back. Yeah, people last night at the game were chanting his name, like, save us, Ishbia, save us.
Oh, man.
Would have been nice, but whatever.
He may have spent a bunch on the Suns, so there's that.
I think he still has some money left.
He could buy a hockey franchise. I mean, like Dr. Jerry Buss did. He had the Kings and the Lakers.
The dude in Salt Lake owns the Jazz, and he now has a hockey team.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, the Caps and the Wizards are owned by the same guy.
Fifth Letter says, listen to Ralph, fellas. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's a champion. Go Lakers. Fifth Letter has got to be Ralph's burger.
I really like Fifth Letter.
Fifth Letter
are you related to Fifth Letter?
In love with you.
I don't know him, but he's one
in
of the
romantic,
smartest texters
kiss you on the mouth with an open in love with you.
No, he's a very smart, intelligent texter. I mean, you can't argue
he's
with
in the
what he
kind of
says.
love with you where he'll allow you to put a finger wherever you want.
Oh, no.
That's the kind of love Fifth Letter is with Ralph.
Beyond the distortion that Jeffrey O'Brien just put out there, Fifth Letter, you're doing a great job.
Fingers? What?
Oh, look, Bruno
At least you
Baller
didn't say
says
fingers.
99.3 seems to be back on, but Radio Ron says 99.3 is on. It's been on for a while. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I didn't know. Somebody's got to tell me.
Thanks, Radio Ron. Thank you.
Moist One says 5 years out. Well, is that how long you've been out? Oh, no, he says hopefully. Oh, yeah, he's saying it'll be 5 years before we get it. When Ishbia
well,
does it.
I don't know about 5 years, like completely. I mean,
well, it's got to be 5 years in 1 day, or else we're stuck with Morello. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it could be 5 years in 2 days. It could be 6 years.
I don't know.
May not be 5 on the dot, but
they could drop a bag of cash on
Morello's
Morello's doorstep, and he could give up his rights.
Yep.
We'll
if
see.
it was hearsay, you could drop a bag of several things on his doorstep. And it'd be
mushrooms.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's the way to hold him hostage on this, which is to say, you wait till there's
that's another way.
There's two years left, and just be like, look, here's the deal.
Hold him hostage.
We're not bringing a team back to Phoenix
I don't
until
wanna
this
hold
is
him
over.
Hostage as much as
So why don't I just give you this bag of money? You take this because you're not getting a team.
You pull up the van, you throw him in the van, you put him in a shipping container, and then you just,
Or you could literally take him, Huss. That's not
Yeah,
what I
you
was
could
saying.
take
He
him
owns,
on.
he
Sure.
owns the
Yeah.
rights to the Coyotes, not to an NHL team, right?
Yeah.
Being here.
Right.
You could bring
owns-
another team here. You don't have to call
No,
them
no,
the
no.
Coyotes.
No, you can't. He
No?
owns the right to an expansion team here. Now, if you buy
if you
and
move a
team, sure, but the NHL, there's got to be some of the legalities in that contract that also cover that.
Well, like
So,
I said, they
Keon,
move teams so often.
I think Keon's right, though. What they'll do is he has those rights only because they're going to buy them from him. And so that's his cash grab at the end.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't play ball, then you just wait 5 years in a day and he loses everything.
This is all about cash, guys. I think we've seen everything we need to see about Alex Murillo and his group.
Yeah.
It's all
So
about a cash grab.
I'm just going to forget about hockey for 5 years. I'm just going to forget
No,
about
you
it.
shouldn't do
What?
that.
I am. I mean, at least being here is what I mean, because this just breaks your heart too much. You know, I don't even know. I mean, yesterday we were talking about what team would I choose to
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
And of course, reserving the right to come back. It's not,
No.
we know one thing,
No.
Ralph. It will not be the Kings.
No,
Why?
It might be whoever
Why would
pisses
you
the
want to be
Kings
the
off.
Kings?
I can't, Ralph. I'm a Phoenix native. I can't.
It'll probably be Las Vegas
There's-
Golden Knights,
there's
or
no
for
hate.
me, Boston Bruins,
There's no hate.
Not between the Kings and the Coyotes.
What do you mean
hate
there's
is
no
there?
hate?
Anaheim
hate?
Ducks.
Every team in
Maybe
this
from-
city chance beat LA. There's
yeah.
absolutely across the
But
board.
that's not
hate.
hate. That's
Yeah.
envy. I understand.
It's
that.
not envy.
That's no,
It's,
it's
it's
it is
not.
called
hate.
wanting championships. I
maybe-
understand.
You can
Maybe
interpret
you
it
think
as
it's envy,
hate
but no.
born
Look,
from envy if
Don't
you'd
make
like,
me go
but it
get
is
my
hate.
2 Stanley Cups and bring them on here.
When
and
we
polish them.
swept
You
your
actually
ass
have
last year in
pewter Stanley
baseball.
Cups. What are they, like, about this big?
Oh my god!
These little shot glass Stanley Cups.
I couldn't afford
Wow.
the big one. It was like $1,500.
It's like, we got to go back to McDonald's. I need 2 more of these. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, moving on with, the rest of whatever sports are left here in the Valley. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NBA playoffs start on Saturday for the Phoenix Suns. They'll be on the road for game 1 of a series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Phoenix, a 1.5 underdog, -108 against the spread. Minnesota -1.5, -112. On the money line, the Suns +100, Minnesota -118, with the over-under at 214. Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks are in San Francisco to take on the Giants. It'll be Ryan Nelson against Logan Webb. Diamondbacks +128 on the money line. San Francisco -152. The over-under run total is at 7.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers, not available in all states.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic. It's National High Five Day. I guess we need a day for that. The high five. I feel like it should be on October 2nd, though.
Giving you
Because
guys high five right now.
like
Come
that
on,
virtual
hit
high
me.
five.
Ralph. There we go.
The high five was actually invented on October 2nd. Well, I mean, nobody knows for sure when the very first high five happened, but credit usually goes to Dusty Baker and Glenn Burke, his old teammate. In 1977, they were playing for the crusty Dodgers there, and they smacked hands during their last game of the season on October 2nd. And, they did a whole 30 for 30 on the ESPN for this, but fans immediately like, hey, that was cool. And Dodgers embraced it as their official way to celebrate. And the first high five, that was probably the coolest.
I think you guys are missing out on one thing. Dusty Rhodes here, the American Dream.
No,
We've been
Dusty
high-fiving for years and years in wrestling.
High five
league.
your face.
And we've been high-fiving in the tag teams. We've been high-fiving after we kick somebody's ass, and we've been high-fiving all the time. I think you guys are missing out here. Listen, Daddy, high five was invented by the Rattlers,
sure
and
you
Dusty
found a way to
Rhodes
fake
here
it.
trying to tell you that the high five was invented by the Rattlers. Dusty Baker, you've got nothing on me, Dusty Rhodes, American Dream.
It's really not connected even to Dusty Rhodes, but okay. So here is if the WWE had invented the high five. I'm going to show you on YouTube. That's it. Oh my God! Oh my God! There it is.
What is? I'm not sure.
Well, just like in wrestling, they don't actually make contact. Nothing actually hits in that. So,
I see.
Because wrestling is
yeah.
fake.
Yeah, well, I can see that. Sure.
You ever have that thing where you go for a high five and it turns into the awkward high five?
Yeah, I hate that.
You come
I
in and
hate
somebody's going to shake your hand and you're like up here and they're down there, or vice versa. Or
Yeah.
you go to high five and then they miss and you're like, oh God.
Yeah, see,
we got to
that's
come
why
back
you guys-
around and do that again.
That's why Jeffrey and I never shake hands. Right there.
No. I mean,
That's
if we
the
did
reason.
high five, we could probably handle it. It's not a problem. But actually,
Right there is why we don't high five.
I have some steps where you can never screw it up again.
All right.
For me, the whole thing has, what are we doing? Are we shaking hands, high-fiving? What are we doing as
You
far
got to
as
give a signal
greeting?
before you roll in there.
Smartest thing to do is come in low. So if they go low, you're already there. And if not, you can go whoop and get them there.
Yeah,
But if you're
yeah,
already
yeah.
up here, it's awkward as hell to come down for something. So here's what you do if you want to make sure you got the perfect high five every single time. First, form your hand into a flat surface with your fingers together. Okay, don't spread them out like that, like, hey, high five, because that can minimize the sound, that cool smacking sound, right? You can try to cup your hand together if you want, just to see if you get a good, louder clap, but just to be simple, make sure your fingers are together, don't spread them. Also, make sure you're sure there is going to be an actual high five about to happen. You don't have to go, high five. You don't have to yell that. Just make eye contact, Don't change your mind and go, all right, fist bump instead. Okay. So if you're in high five position, you stay there. You stay there. God help you if you shift into an awkward hug. Like, okay, here we go. I've seen people do that where they're like, okay, gonna come in and hug you. It's like, no, you're not hugging me. Stay calm. Stay calm and be ready
very
to
important.
move
Yep.
in unison. At this kind of just don't panic. Don't try to rush the high five. You're not swatting a bee. You're not trying to get there first. Don't try to do it so hard you hurt their hand. Just be smooth. There you go. Easy. It's worse to have a badly done high five than anything, I think. Okay,
I would
here's-
agree with that. Yeah.
Here's a very important tip on making sure you get it right. Look at their elbow, not their hand.
So if they've got their elbow up, then you know something's on.
Your brain will automatically know where your hand needs to be,
Okay.
and you'll make better contact. So you look at
All
their
right.
elbow, and then, there
Well,
it is. So
every time I see Ralph, I look at his elbows.
he's got weird elbows. It's hard not to look away.
I mean, I look at his elbows. Oh,
Now
my
they're
God.
this
Yeah.
awful shade of
I'm
purple.
glad they're covered up today. Dear God. Yeah.
Anyway, so I hope that helps some of you awkward nerds who can't high five. I mean, it just should be no problem. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
shouldn't even be a thing that I need to explain
Yeah.
to you, but I know we've got some nerdy people listening. So
It's a lot of info on a high five.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I do
It's
remember
National High Five Day.
my
here
favorite
to
high
help.
five was when Russell Westbrook was with the Thunder and he was high fiving all of the guys coming back to the bench, and one guy didn't see him, and Russ stood there and waited. And this guy was on the bench, and everybody was like tapping him, like, "Hey, Russ wants to high five you." And Russ was just like sitting there looking at him, like, "So we're gonna get this done or what?" So the guy comes back and walks all the way back from the end of the bench to high five him, and then Russ walks off. It's like, man, that dude's intense.
Like, nobody leaves me hanging. Nobody. Bruno Baller says, "Hey, at least we still have the Phoenix Rising soccer team. I thought they won a championship or something in their league." Yay.
Yeah, it's not comparable.
Soccer.
Yeah. Hooray. Beer Bob says, apparently that POS former owner of the Arizona Coyotes said he is bringing the Roadrunners up from Tucson. Did he actually say that? Says he still owns the team. No, you idiot. You own the name, not the team. Like, he might actually still own the Roadrunners.
Boy, if he brought him up and they played at the Madhouse on McDowell.
Yeah, but
I mean, come on.
I want to support them if he owns them. There,
well, I get it though.
Or is that
But
dumb?
I mean-
Maybe I'm being dumb.
A little vengeful. I mean,
I'm Irish. What do you think?
yeah.
Of course I'm vengeful.
Kim came home last night hearing us talk about this on the air, and she said, "I'm okay with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I'm okay with that."
I'm glad that Ralph hates it. That makes me want to be a fan of the Las Vegas Golden Knights even
I
more.
tried to tell
I just-
you yesterday
I just
before
don't
Ralph was here.
feel like
today.
any team in Las Vegas is real. They're just a bunch
What?
of
I mean,
fake
they are
teams.
actual.
Oh, you mean the
I
Stanley Cup champions?
I mean,
Oh,
Golden Knights. What a
Oh,
stupid
you mean
name.
they're
The
champs.
Raiders. What a
Cup champ.
stupid
This is a
team.
weak ass argument, which makes me like
Yeah,
them
like
even
the
more.
Raiders have so much history. There's no way you can say that it's a stupid team. The team.
Most people your
Fake
age
team.
never saw the Raiders when they were good. So I mean, it doesn't
that's
matter.
true, Keon. Back in.
I mean, and
Silver
even then,
days.
in my life, I've seen the Raiders in a Super Bowl.
The Raiders will always be the Oakland Raiders.
Oh
It's
yeah.
that's just who they are. They're the
That's who they should be.
they
Yeah.
breathe
The
everything
forearm
Oakland.
shiver of the black and silver.
I don't know. Las Vegas having pro teams is hard to get used to, I guess.
You know what else you need to get used to? It's none of your goddamn business, Ralph.
Wow.
It's some of my business.
It's none of your
I
business.
thought it was high five day.
I'll high five you in the face over and over again.
Yeah, that's
I'm not slap you so hard and loud and so many times it'll sound like a round of applause. Telling me. Nah,
That's a lot of slapping.
I think I have officially become a Las Vegas Knights fan.
Could have.
I mean, if
Right.
you want to pull
Maybe.
for a team called the Golden Knights, go right ahead.
You mean Stanley Cup champions?
It's either that or the Boston Bruins.
No, you're not racist enough.
That's what we were saying yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can make the effort, but
You're
yeah.
slightly racist, but you're not racist enough.
So Jeffrey, I've been saving this for
0%.
you. I've been
Just
saving
1K.
this for you. On the Boston Bruins, there's a guy named Brad Marchand. They call him. Are you ready? The little ball of hate.
Oh, I love this.
It's a little ball of hate.
I love this.
accurate nickname, by the way.
Here's one for Ralph. Little balls of hate. that's what we'll call Ralph.
I played hockey for like 30 years.
Mhm.
So I love hockey. And I was always the guy that I used to wear the Russian helmets, the CCP helmets back in the 80s. I know you probably don't remember that. But I was always the guy wearing the other stuff. I just like to
Why are
be
you telling us this?
I like to be the other guy. You know what I'm saying? I guess you guys don't understand. So forget Iverson.
I think this became a moment where we were supposed to understand Ralph.
Well, I was trying to. I'm not sure
Just
I get
go
it.
ahead and get the applause thing going. Pretend it's slapping. It's fine.
Ralph is a little sensitive.
I could do that.
Could you do that? Thank you. Just,
Yeah.
If it means anything to you, Ralph, I won't be a Golden Knights fan.
Well, you
I
have
already-
more
I
taste
already-
in that because you have the Capitals,
I already have a team. Yeah.
which has a good history.
Ralph has crabs, says,
Can we get rid of him too?
you should be a Seattle Kraken fan or a Vancouver Canucks fan, not
I'll
a
never be
Kings
a-
fan.
I'll never be a Kraken fan.
He says, did you jump on that bandwagon when Wayne Gretzky joined the team, Ralph?
No.
No, I've been a hockey guy since I can remember anything. I mean, I love hockey. So I was a King fan back in the Mario Lessard days and the Charlie Simmer days, Dave Taylor days. So those of you out there that know that, you'll understand. Way before Gretzky.
Donnie says, I hope the Cardinals move next. We hope you move next, Donnie.
Donnie.
Anywhere
Yeah.
will do.
Yeah,
Donnie,
thanks,
I'm pulling for your Timberwolves, Donnie.
Oh,
Just want you to know I'm on your side this time. Well, if I'm going to lose in the first round to the
you
frickin'
are
Nuggets,
going to
which
lose
we
in the
are,
first round.
I'm going to pull for the Timberwolves. At least I'm man enough to admit
Hey.
we won't beat the Nuggets.
By the way, I remember someone named Ralph, also with a dumb face, who told Keon that
Also with a dumb face.
that the Lakers would finish ahead of the Suns in the standings before the end of the regular season. And guess what didn't happen? Did you guys bet on that?
First of all, I don't recall that conversation whatsoever.
We have it on tape.
You better really dig because I don't think it happened.
No, Keon's been writing stuff down.
I don't
I can
know.
write stuff down.
I don't know if we bet on it, but let me check my notes here.
Yeah, you can check your notes. I can write anything down too. I mean,
You did.
no, I don't.
I
Recall.
write down all the bets, not just
Really?
the
We didn't
ones
make a bet
involving
on
me.
anything. Yeah.
Chief Skull says I'd highly recommend high-fiving Ralph, but he's a Dodger fan, so it'd be more of a nut punch. That's probably good. Walter Mellon says, watch your mouth, Ralph. Watch
Okay.
your mouth, Ralph. That comes out of my mouth. Like
That's kind of tongue
kind of
twister.
Ralph mouth.
Watch your mouth,
Ralph. Nation will come get you.
Who?
Nation.
The Raiders.
What nation?
The Raider
Oh,
Nation.
Raider.
Yeah, I'm rose good out of that Raider Nation. Yeah, they're 3 wins a year.
You should be.
Fitzletter says, all right, I take everything I said about Ralph back. Don't you ever talk about my Raiders like that.
I know he's a Raider fan.
Now he wants to put his finger somewhere else.
He half likes me.
Robert from Surprise says, I think I jinxed the Coyotes. I switched to a Coyotes fan, and just like my beloved Raiders, they moved. We'd be happy to blame you, Robert from Surprise, but unless your name is Alex Morello, we just simply can't. Waldo says, did Ralph ever wear Cooperalls?
Cooperalls, that's funny. You guys have no idea what that is, do you?
No.
It's a hockey thing.
We don't. It's a hockey thing.
Yeah.
It's probably your jock strap, right?
No.
He doesn't need a jock.
Cooper made a bunch of equipment for hockey. I did wear Cooperalls and some other stuff, yes.
Moist One says, Kraken, baby. Okay. Mr.
now.
Wilbur says, Jeffrey is correct. In the dictionary, under the word dumb face, you see Ralph's photo. Yeah, we do, but you don't, Mr.
So
Wilbur.
I need to make a clarification. I
Yeah.
can see the hate coming in. I respect the Raider organization back in the day of Al Davis and John Madden. That was a fantastic organization. It is a crap organization the last 15 years.
But
So,
don't you want to see it return to its nastiness?
I think it would be cool. I do.
If it
but
would just get nasty again.
I think it'd be cool. I hate that they're in Las Vegas. I hate the way they run the organization. Al Davis's son is an idiot. So I have every right to say that. You shouldn't be mad at that as a Raider fan. You should agree with that. Look what you've done the last 15, 20 years.
See, I think
Nothing.
Sean Payton should have gone to the Las Vegas Raiders, and he should have brought in what's his face, the defensive guy that was the headhunter. He should have brought that guy in.
The Raiders are classic NFL.
Wait, Greg Williams from Bounty
just
Gate?
brought him in with Bounty Gate. And
Greg,
just go ahead
Greg
and
with 3 G's.
into
create good old nasty black and
Right.
silver again.
He's perfect for the Raiders.
And who was the Hendricks? Was it Hendricks? 83. Oh, he broke his jaw one time, and he had a cast. And he had a big smile on under his face as he was trying to decapitate guys. He was a linebacker or defensive lineman. Hendricks. I seen 83. Oh my
Some
God!
Raider
he
fan
was-
will know what you're saying.
He was nasty.
Bruno Baller says the Tom Flores years with the Raiders were quality as well.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
Okay.
actually, several regional teams that have Stanley Cup trophies: Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, the Kings. I think even the Anaheim Ducks won a cup.
Yeah, they did.
Do you
Everyone
hate
but
the
Phoenix.
Anaheim Ducks?
Everyone but Phoenix did. Yeah, of course I do. They're Orange
Did the
County.
Sharks?
I hate
Sharks
them.
didn't.
Sharks did not. But-
God bless you.
Hold on, there's another one coming. I'm a two sneezer.
Hang on. Stand by. God bless you.
Could have been talking amongst yourself while I was doing
We
that.
could
You did
have.
have
We
to
would rather
wait for
listen
me.
to you.
But
Yeah.
everyone was waiting for you to sneeze again.
Well, I wasn't
Everybody-
waiting for you to sneeze again. I was actually
was.
turning off your mic. So
Oh,
I
good.
was
Thank you.
waiting.
Is anybody else having the allergies real bad? What's up with the
Yeah.
weather, by the
Yeah.
way?
Yeah. I have the terrible allergies. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White reporting 93 degrees currently under mostly cloudy skies. And tomorrow, 94 and sunny. Going to get down to the mid 80s by next Friday. And yeah, it's very dry out there. A lot of pollutants moving around.
Sorry, what?
Moderate UV index, visibility 25 or more miles, 12% humidity, and the barometric pressure is holding steady at 29.97. Oh, geez. No wind to speak of. It's dry and 93 currently in the Valley of the Sun. From the Harmon Solar 1580, the Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
Thank you, Randy. We will pick it up where we left off. We got some NBA to talk about that happened last night. It's just the East, so we're not in a hurry. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, the Fanatic.
Go for it. Take your base.
The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands.
Goodbye. Home run.
Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate and all the storage you need. Get the network you want on the iPhone you love, only on Verizon.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the 4-day super sale, April 19th through the 22nd, and get 40% off paints and stains with prices starting at $26.69. That means 40% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 40% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, the Fanatic, and Grey's Anatomy says it was the stork, Ted Hendricks. That's who you're thinking, Randy. The stork.
Ted Hendricks. Man.
Fifth letter is sending in some sort of weird porn for Ralph. I don't know what this is. Jeez. He shows Raiders 40-34 over the Seahawks.
Wow, you beat them once. Good
Last
job.
time they played, I guess.
Awesome.
Chief Skull says burn in hell Lakers. Here. Let's see. Big George says, as official legal counsel for the Daily Blender, you ready for some legal notes there?
Me?
He says,
Or-
I do remember Ralph making a bet that the Lakers would finish with a better record than the Suns. I am a witness.
Oh boy.
He's a corrupt lawyer, is what he is.
Oh, I'm not
Corrupt.
Yeah, I'm not going to probably even argue about that.
Oh boy.
Oh man, no.
But Keon couldn't find it, huh?
Yeah, I didn't find it in my notes. So
I remember it, and I remember you remembering it.
Mm.
Well, you're off the hook, Ralph.
I have no no.
well, I don't. I remember that Ralph said that. I don't remember if it was.
I think
a bet or
Ralph
not,
should
though.
buy us lunch anyway. Because I'm pretty sure it involved lunch somehow.
I'm pretty sure it
And-
didn't
and
involve
Jeff-
you.
Yeah, Jeffrey and I need free pizza. So
It's the only
if
thing I
you're
bet is
getting
lunch.
free
so-
pizza. I mean, Jeffrey and I should get free.
I will
free
make
pizza.
you. I will make
Yeah.
you a pizza.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you will like it.
Can we just go to Barrows?
It'd be better than Barrows.
I bet it would.
You know, you go to somebody's house and they got one of them pizza ovens and they make you a pizza and you have to pretend like it was good.
No, I barbecue pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Mm.
Have you ever had barbecue pizza?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You
no,
know,
it
on the
sounds good.
grill,
Yeah.
you grill it.
Put it on the barbecue.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
What kind of wood do you use to?
Different
that.
ones. Like sometimes I use maple.
Jesus
mesquite.
Christ, I
It
don't
just
want to know about
depends.
his wood.
All right.
Oh, you want to know about my wood?
I just
No,
don't.
that is his evening wood, not his morning.
I'm
wood.
not interested in your toothpick.
Wow.
They are pellets.
Wow.
Just to be clear.
Pellets. Did you hear that? Wow.
Robert from Surprise says, sorry they traded 2 draft picks to the Packers to pick Hendricks.
Hendricks is a badass. What are you talking about?
But who are you
I don't know.
apologizing to?
No idea. It's Brunswick guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, or whoever it was. No, it was Robert. Brunswick guy says, why does Ralph hate Orange County teams when Orange County, California is much nicer and a safer place than LA County?
Because I'm from LA County, born and raised. So
Yeah, so don't mess with him. He'll cut you. Hurry Harry says, I don't remember Ralph making that bet.
Thank you.
Go Seahawks.
There we go. Finally, we're getting some great texts.
A block. Okay.
Finally.
Finally.
So let's talk about last night's basketball, if that's what you want to call it. The Heat could not keep it going against the 76ers, so that was close, 105-104. Keon, do you have comments about last night's play-in game that is now sending the 76ers into the 7th slot?
Yeah, I think that it makes the 76ers a pretty dangerous team. They are obviously limping in. It was a very close game, but Joel Embiid starting to get back into basketball shape after missing a lot of the season, injured. Yes, Randy.
My question is, are the Sixers going to be able to take down the Celtics?
Well, the Sixers are playing the Knicks. So
Well, I know that. I know they're playing the
but
Knicks.
could they
but-
eventually take down
Yeah.
the Celtics? Well, yeah.
You're giving them the Knicks?
Oh, you think the 76ers could take down the Celtics?
But it depends on how fast Joel Embiid gets back up to speed. And I don't know what that looks like. If they manage to get past the Knicks, which is not a guarantee, the Knicks are the
No.
2 seed for a reason. They've been awesome all year. Jalen Brunson, I think, has shown everybody, including me, because I was a Jalen Brunson doubter, that he's the real deal. So at this point, you're just going to you're going to have to get past the Knicks first, and before even looking at the Celtics. But I do think that being able to play from the inside with Joel Embiid and just how big he is and how dominant a presence he is, in addition to the fact that the team that is actually last in the NBA in scoring 2-point shots is the Celtics. So if those threes aren't falling for them, they're in trouble. And I don't think that's just the Sixers that can do it.
All right.
All right. So the 76ers have beaten the Heat. The Heat now play against the Bulls, right, in the next game.
Yeah, the Heat play the Bulls. Loser goes home. Winner's the 8th seed and gets to get stomped to death by the Celtics.
Are the Atlanta Hawks done with sweaty baby hair, Trey? Are they done with him now? Or, I mean, where
Why?
does this leave sweaty baby hair?
No,
Well,
I mean,
I
they've
always
got
forget his last name, so that's
Trey-
how I
Trey
know him.
Young.
Trey Young, the sweaty baby hair.
But no, they're not done with him. He's just now starting his second contract on the team. He's a very young player. They haven't exactly built around him well, and what he does. I think originally when they drafted him, they tried to basically make Warriors East. And I don't know that that's a fair thing to do because Trey Young has a lot of things in common with Steph Curry and the way that he plays, but he's not Steph. He doesn't really move when he doesn't have the ball. He doesn't do all of the stuff that Steph does to get open. He's really not that dialed in on defense either. But as an offensive player, he just can score. I don't know that you can just replace that easily. He was their lottery pick that they're building around. So no, I don't think they're done with him.
So is Trae Young wasting his talents in Atlanta? Should Atlanta look at maybe either building around him or trading him away to somebody else? And if so, who?
I think that they should still build around him. It's just really hard to find talent in this league that can play.
This is like 3 years now, right? This is 3 seasons.
Yeah, but he's young. Like, it's not.
Well, I know he's young, but
so just if you blow it up, who are you replacing him with? Are you going to tank it out and try and hope and pray that you draft
Who cares what happens in Atlanta? I'm talking about Trae Young here. Trae Young is a quality basketball player.
Are you shopping for Trae Young, Randy?
Yeah,
maybe.
But you're saying, but your question was, should they blow it up with him or should they keep trying? And
it seems like they don't want to keep trying. They don't want to try. They just keep bringing Trae Young out there, and he keeps doing his ice cold
They're like
business.
the Anaheim Angels.
I don't think
like that too,
they are in fact trying. They've tried different players.
I don't think Trae Young's going to play baseball,
with him. They've gone out and drafted shooters like DeAndre Hunter. Bogdan Bogdanovic was a guy that they brought in to help him. They did try various players.
Is it bad front office or?
No, I just think that Trae is a hard player to try and build around. Honestly, they thought they were getting Steph, so they built the team wrong. They built the team to try to look like the Warriors, but that team, they never found him his quote unquote Klay Thompson. They never found him his Draymond Green, and that's because those things are hard to do. Like it's just not easy to try and collect the talent that way. And he is unfortunately good enough that they're in basketball purgatory, where if you make the playoffs, you're not a high enough seed to do anything and go anywhere.
Man,
and if you miss the playoffs, you're not getting the first pick or the second pick either.
If I'm Trae Young this year, I'm demanding a trade. What say you, Keon? I'm demanding a trade. I want to move out of Atlanta, go somewhere else.
I'll take a look and see when like the big money in his contract hits, because that's really what's going to make that something that's hard to do. You can ask for a trade, but then the team has to be able to get something in return for you. They're not just going to give you away because you asked for a trade. So in the case of Trae Young and his contract, the NBA has been making it harder for teams to move off from some of the bigger contracts. And he does have that. His base salary this year is $40 million. So at $40 million, the league is really punishing teams that are willing to try and give up a bunch of draft picks and assets to get players, because they don't want to see these guys move around all the time.
Bear Claw says, did Ralph's head coach jump off the Rams when they moved to the OC and then St. Louis and become the Seahawks fan? What?
Did my head coach?
I don't understand what you're saying. We don't understand you, Bear Claw. Big George says, sounds like you guys needed a better accountant. To keep track of them books more accurately. That way, these bets that Ralph makes are official, and he can't welsh on them bets.
I don't think that Ralph made a bet.
We're going to need to hire a notary.
I think he did.
Notary.
I would be the beneficiary of the bet, so if I didn't write it down, it didn't happen.
I still think Ralph needs to buy us all pizza.
I do still think
it's hungry.
I still think it's funny that he thought the Lakers were going to finish ahead of the Suns, but that's not the same as winning a bet.
Teriyaki
game difference. I mean,
Teriyaki says
you said they were going to pass him.
Trae Young does not play defense, period. Any team he's on is basically playing 4-on-5 on the defense side.
Well, no, he doesn't. But I mean, wouldn't he be more suited on another team that perhaps he would play more defense? Somebody other than Atlanta. It seems like Atlanta just
he's not.
They don't care.
Well, first off, his defensive motor is it. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. The problem is that even when it's on, Trae Young is small. He gets pushed around.
I know he
gets beat. It's
small,
it's hard for him to defend people. A lot of what they end up doing defensively is hiding Trae Young. trading him to another team is not going to make his defense better. He
Average Joe
sucks at it.
says
That's the trade-off.
DeJounte Murray is who Atlanta should keep. His stats when Young isn't on the floor with him are very good. They'll get more value by trading Trae Young.
Yeah, but he's making $40 million. Like, who is going to give you what you want to take on $40 million? Because if you don't want him, because he's hard to build around, is it going to be easy for somebody else? And what are they going to give you back? Like
Golden State.
There has to be other people involved in these trades. You can't just
Lakers.
Dream up a trade and then imagine it from just one side. You have to imagine the other side, or it doesn't work.
Bear Claw didn't mean head coach. He said, did Ralph's HCs jump off? He meant Ralph has crabs. Don't abbreviate texter nicknames. I don't care enough to try to translate your stupid license plate, your personalized license plate thing.
Ralph HC. I like that better.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say Ralph has crabs.
Yeah, of course. Every time.
Let's not abbreviate their names. Hefty Lefty says you can work around your offensive best option. The Suns did it for years with Nash. Rockets did it with Harden.
Yeah, he gives you enough offense that you can build around him. The Hawks have just really struggled to do it, and part of it is front office. But the guy that tried to build the team originally, he's already been fired. So this is try number two, really.
I feel bad for Trae Young, though. I mean, I feel like this guy is a wonderful talent. Maybe he's offensive only, but I mean, tell me what team doesn't have an offensive only player on? I mean, give me a break. Most of the NBA teams do.
Average Joe says Lakers will take him.
Yeah, but it's hard to trade a guy who only plays offense, and when he's on offense, he doesn't run when he's not on the ball, so he doesn't give you extra there.
Baby here. Yeah.
And then on top of that, you know,
what he needs is like a veteran to kind of goad him on. Look, man, when you're not on the ball, run. Jack,
I think he should throw a wig on and go play in the WNBA.
Well, that could be.
Well, that's not how that's not at all how that works.
Yeah, it could work that way. Yes,
it can't. You have to actually start taking hormones, and I don't think that guy's interested in. You do actually.
Those babies from beyond the logo.
I can see him fitting in physically.
I mean, okay, but you still actually have to start taking hormones and be on them for a year. You're not getting the WNBA.
Like Joanne.
But one says
crazy.
If Celtics Nuggets win. If it's anybody else in the West, Celtics win the ship. Oh, that's just a load voice.
And I don't know that the Celtics are not a lock to win the championship.
No,
at all. It doesn't matter who comes out of the West. They're a weird team that's streaky, and their conference is weird.
I'm calling Jason Tatum.
How do you shoot that many threes and can't make twos?
You don't have Jason Tatum's number.
I do. It's the most bizarre. No team has ever had that and won a title.
Here we go.
All right. While Ralph calls Jason Tatum, we got to take a break and get ready for hour two. It's a daily blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
To celebrate everyone who's customized and saved hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, we got a savings siren that goes off every time someone saves. There it is. It's a really more savings, which really, okay, a lot of savings. Little annoying now. Will you stop saving for 5 seconds?
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in Wash Scenties.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K242 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar is with us. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar studio in Scottsdale. I was about to make a cool announcement for Ralph, but Ralph's not at his microphone. There was a cool thing that about the Weekend Warriors, his show that he does on Saturdays don't do the thing. I'm not doing the thing until he comes back.
Sorry.
But it's on at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, right before, without interruption, Keon Rose. So
I heard you say like a cool announcement for Ralph.
Oh, and then I know what's going to happen when I make this announcement. Keon's going to go, what about me? And
go ahead.
Well, no, Randy,
What?
I'm not making an announcement because I just realized when he says what about me, I have to say soon because he's next. That's all I'm going to, just if Ralph was where he was supposed to be, I could tell you exactly what this is
Where's
about.
Ralph? Where's Ralph?
I think his wife is beating him downstairs.
Is that what it is?
There's a good chance that she has chosen violence today, and he's I'm guessing in the kitchen getting beat about the head and shoulders.
One of those roller things that you do with the bread. One of
The
those
rolling pin?
roller pin. That's it.
You
Ooh,
really
good name.
think that his wife is just like making bread? You think-
Bammo.
Who's making
She
bread?
might have been
Nobody's making
making
bread.
Or
and
she
then,
just looked for the most painful object that she had in the kitchen that
Well,
wouldn't
is that or
instantaneously kill him.
cast
and
iron.
we went with that one.
That'd be a knife.
Well, yeah, with the knife, you got to
No,
make
you
sure
don't
you
wanna
don't hit
kill him,
vital
you just wanna-
organs.
you wanna
She
numb him
didn't. She
for a
does
while.
not want to kill him. So
No.
Num, 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 num.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hit him with the
so
rolling pin. There you go.
when Ralph comes back, then I'll make that announcement for him.
There's a special announcement for Ralph. All
Not
right.
yet.
What?
Not yet.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to make an announcement for Ralph, and then I'm going to promise Keon something.
All right.
It'll make
That's
sense.
later on in the show.
It'll make sense. Just
Okay.
trust me. It'll make
All right.
sense. What the hell is this guy talking about? I
Who?
thought that this was a Sunspot because the last thing it was sent by this person, the only thing that was sent was Suns with a favorable first round playoff series to beat Timberwolves in 6. LFG. I'm like, yeah, it's a bot. And then it says today, Coyotes worst run franchise and ownership in sports. Good riddance in Utah.
Okay,
You can just shut the hell right up. Yes, they
Well-
are owned by Numbskull, but we didn't want them to leave.
I don't think that's what
We
he was
didn't-
saying.
We
He
didn't
said they were
want
the
them to
worst
leave,
run.
but he's like good riddance because
But
now,
the ownership is still here, trying to bring it back. That's
well,
people.
is he trying to bring it back though?
Yeah, I think so. I think he will.
Because it seems like every decision he makes is a short-term financial decision, including not paying his taxes and selling his team to a guy he never met, which I don't think I've ever heard of that in sports.
Yeah.
I think he's just in cash grab mode.
I don't think Alex Murillo, I think he wanted the Coyotes to leave because then he could bring the Roadrunners up here.
Oh, that's what it is? It's all about the Roadrunners, the minor league hockey team?
Well, that's his team.
He's like, all right, guys, hear me out. Just doesn't make any sense.
Well, the thing is, the land is perfect for him to buy because either he gets to keep the rights, and if a team comes here while he's here, he gets the team. And if he doesn't, he still has the land. And if he's able to build something that an arena of some kind, then he can just lease that and he can make the money, which I think is what he wanted all along.
Decided I will outbid him for that land.
Really?
That he's going for.
All right. Jeffrey O'Brien, ladies and gentlemen, the savior
jumping into action.
The NHL here in the
Watch
Valley.
this. Watch this. Go ahead and it's like we're bidding. Okay, $75 million, and he'll put his hand up and I'll say, and $1.
And every time they throw out a number,
$75 million and $1.
Whatever he says, and $1. I'll just keep that going forever. And $1.
Damn. That's awfully generous of you, Jeffrey O'Brien.
And then when I have the land, well, I have no idea what to do with it. I'll be honest.
You
we'll
could
probably
put a hockey stadium on there and get a expansion franchise.
Well, at that point, all I'll be able to afford is like park an RV in the middle of it and go, I live here now. I don't have the money beyond this. If this goes over 100 million, forget it.
Maybe you buy the land and just put your mansion on it.
I won't be able to afford it.
About time for you to upgrade your mansion.
I won't be able to afford it. It'd just be an RV. That's it.
That's okay.
Minding me of the kind of camper trailer in the back of my truck.
Plant a lot of those tall, what do you call them, spruce trees.
You can't have
Plant a lot of
spruce
those
trees here.
Oh yeah, you get those spruce trees, and then you put your camper in the middle. It's like a forest. See what I'm saying?
Bruno Baller says, who does Keon like in the Chicago-Miami matchup? Miami?
Jimmy Butler's out.
No, Jimmy Butler's out.
Oh, then Chicago. Wait, no, not them.
I mean,
none of the above?
Yeah. Chicago's missing Caruso. That's not great. But DeRozan's going to still be out there, so I'll take Chicago. And Kobe White had a 42-point game in the last playing game. I'll take Chicago.
Bruno Baller, the correct answer is it's the East. Who gives a crap?
I'm just saying neither of those teams would have made the play-in game in the Western Conference.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, it's fun to finally place bets on the NBA. Playoffs obviously makes everybody step up their game and finally play some defense. My guess is the best defensive team, that's the team that will win the title.
I don't know about that either. I also, the defense thing is weird because people say that, and I wonder if they've really been watching the games.
I don't think you're going to see 140 to 137.
Well, the thing is, the NBA has kind of realized, okay, scoring's gotten out of control, and some of the foul calls they used to call, they haven't been calling this season. They just stopped doing it
for the Lakers.
And,
I mean, everybody else,
of course,
they don't call them. Yeah,
of course. But I'm looking at some of the players that play hard defense and are known for it, and they're genuinely stunned with what they can get away with now. So I think the playoffs are going to be more defensive, but 3-point shooting is still the king in this league. And if you can do that without too much of a trade-off, like the Celtics have a massive trade-off with their 3-point shooting, which is that they don't score in the paint at all. And I just think that's a very shaky thing to stand on going into the NBA playoffs. The East is going to be kind of a cakewalk, so they may make it to the final.
Comes Ralph with his rolling pin.
Oh, it's Pippi. Pippi's here.
Yeah.
Pippi's here.
Hear that? Or Ralph has the strangest looking penis. I don't know what.
Ralph, you should really get that checked.
Yeah. That's the strangest case of Peronis we've ever seen. That's got to be Pippi. I think Ralph is off on the phone someplace.
I love you, Pippi.
Calling his bookie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's talk about this for a moment. Hey, Keon, you know how we were still sorting out the whole NIL thing. Well, something just happened. Virginia now has a law that allows school to pay athletes for NIL. Did you read that? Did you see that? Schools in Virginia will be able to directly pay athletes with the name, image, and likeness deals because of a state law that just got signed this morning.
But only in Virginia?
Well, yeah, you can't pass laws for other states.
Because the NIL thing is not an NCAA thing at this point. It's like, are we allowing this for each state? And every state's going to have to come to their own conclusion on that. And no state wants to have their state school losing money.
So you think everybody's going to follow suit?
I do. I don't see how you don't, because if you're Clemson, you're not that far from Virginia. Are you going to lose a player who's just capable of being paid by the school directly? Yeah, I think that this is something that's going to have a domino effect.
Yeah. So the new law goes into effect July 1st, and it's the first of any state to make it illegal for the NCAA to punish a school for compensating athletes. So does that mean now they're employees?
It would mean that essentially. And I think that's, and I'll have to read this one in particular, but I know that that's the case that's been made already, is that if you're asking these players to dedicate a certain amount of time to this, to the point where, quite frankly, you're traveling all over the country. Are you even going to class? Like, I saw a story the other day. Shedeur Sanders hadn't been to class in a year, like in person. He's been online, but it's not the same thing at all. And so it's like, at what point has the athlete overtaken the student part of this to where you can't use that as an excuse to not pay these guys?
Well, Virginia is leading the way on something other than sleeping with cousins. And so now it's nice to see a difference. So, I'm sorry, I was thinking West Virginia, wasn't I? Virginia is the normal Virginia, right? West Virginia or is Virginia just as bad?
The further south in Virginia you go, the weirder Virginia gets. How about that?
So how is this going to affect other campuses? How is this going to affect ASU, for example? I mean, are you telling me that the good students that are going there and they're not playing any athletics and they're playing they're doing regular school, they're taking classes, they're trying to get a degree? Is this going to impact their tuition? Now, are the tuition rates going to start to rise because we got to get
I don't,
class one, athletes to our school?
No, a lot of schools, a good chunk of the money they're making is coming from sports.
Arizona can't balance their books as it is.
Well, I was talking about
bad will it
ASU.
get after that?
We was talking about ASU.
Yeah, but either way, I don't know that that's going to raise tuition prices, because what you're talking about here is taking
I think it's going to, though, Keon. Doesn't it have to?
I don't think so, because they're not pulling money from those resources to go there. First off, you've got boosters donating to your athletic department. You're raising money, you're raising funds, and the athletic programs, especially football and basketball, are making enough money to, quite frankly, you could just pay them with that.
Well, that's going to come out of the school's bottom line. They're not going to like that. I mean,
oh well,
yeah, but
yeah,
that's the thing is. you have players making more money for you than the tuition you're giving them.
Wow.
By a lot. And college is expensive, and it's still not.
We're not talking about tuition. We're talking about paying these athletes.
Yeah, and I'm saying that's
where they get all their money, though.
That it is going to eat into your bottom line, but your bottom line is based on the fact that you are under. If you're just using tuition, you're still underpaying them. Use the athletic money you're making.
Hey,
use the booster money. You have students that graduate from ASU or LSU or Florida, and then they're out of school 2 years, and someone works at that school and picks up the phone and says, "Hey, would you like to support the University of Florida athletics?" And they hit you up for money all the time, these boosters, because they know that it's important. So these schools are raising boatloads of cash. I don't think you're going to have to raise tuition, especially for some of the bigger programs. I feel bad for some of the smaller schools. Those are the ones that I'm like, I don't know what you're going to do.
Hey, now that Ralph is back, I'd like to make that announcement. Well,
yes. Do you have an announcement now?
I have an announcement to make. The Weekend Warrior Show is now on Spotify.
Show is now canceled.
Canceled. It's small. It's kind of hard to read on there. It looks like it says Ralph and Nell. Like you're doing it with Nell Carter.
He's kind of like
Remember her?
Nell.
With Nell?
He looks
I
like
don't know.
Nell Carter.
The eye looks like an L. Of course, I've got bad eyesight.
Oh, no.
So,
You know,
But,
I can't fall in love with you. I love my horse.
so
Spotify, that's cool.
all former episodes are available on there as we speak, and in the future they'll be loaded up there automatically. And I know there's Keon kind of going,
Hey,
"Hey,
where's this stuff?
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Keon's is next. We'll work on that next. It only took a couple hours for this one to happen. So
And thank you for that. And if I could say something on the show last
this
week,
is really not a place for a speech,
well,
Ralph.
I know, but we opened the text line, and then I had some issues with it, and we had people texting in, and we couldn't get to them. We only got to one, so we'll change
Was it
that this
mine?
week.
Was
I
it
know
mine?
you definitely texted, and we weren't able to see it, but we will this week. So, and I would have answered your text saying the Rattlers is not a real championship.
Ooh.
Ooh. I just
Controversial takes on the Weekend
Yeah.
Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
no,
oh, yeah.
because
I mean,
Randy
They're
was
full
being
of hot takes there.
if
They're
you-
full
full
of
of something.
takes.
Yeah.
Full
I
of-
mean, if you ask number one Rattlers fan, he'd be devastated.
They're full
Devastated.
of hot takes.
Well, devastation is part of life, so get over it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real to him, damn it.
What's he going to do next year when the Arena Football League hits?
What you gonna do, brother?
We'll get another team here.
Yeah. Is that public knowledge yet?
I don't know. I'm not
Oh,
talking about it.
Okay, let's not talk.
We're getting another team here in the Valley?
It just goes there. I think it is public, actually. I think it's.
Is it public?
I saw it on the internet.
It has to be true.
The
Nothing on the
Arizona
internet is a lie.
Wranglers are coming back.
Not the Wranglers, the Bandits.
Bandits. Whoops, sorry. I think I said Wranglers. Somebody's coming back. Bandit is good. I like Bandits better than Wranglers.
Yeah,
Wranglers are just sort of ill-fitting jeans.
April of next
Bandit,
year, man.
that's something.
April,
Well,
we
the
got a
jeans are
word
named
team
after
here.
the people, though.
Hmm?
The jeans are named after the people who wore them.
Wrangler jeans.
You wear Wranglers?
Well, not me.
Well, then shut the hell up. You ain't got nothing to say about this. You don't have any Wranglers.
Did you wear Sassoons?
What? All I'm saying is
That's
there
an
was-
80 that's a
there
total
was-
Wrangler,
80s.
Wrangler,
80s.
Wrangler jeans are worn
You
by
remember those?
actual Wranglers, which is how they got their name.
Ooh la la Sassoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the 80s, there's always
How did we
that
get here?
one kid that wore 'em.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one
Sassoons.
kid.
Yeah.
Tight and really blue, and they couldn't move.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Go look it up.
Sassoon.
Sassoon jeans. Ooh la la Sassoons from the 80s.
I wore Levi's 501 jeans. That's what I wore.
I did too. That's
That
what I
was
wore.
just I didn't wear
that's the way-
Wranglers because I
yeah.
didn't have a horse, and I didn't wear Guess jeans because guess where all my money went? These pants. No, I'm gonna have a couple of pairs of Levi's for what you're paying for them Guess
Back
jeans.
when jeans were $30 each.
Holy crap! Yeah.
The Sassoons were 100. Remember, I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're nuts."
Well, the
Ooh la
501s
la.
were like you can get them for 20 back then.
Sassoon.
You get them for 20 or
Mm.
25 if you knew where to shop, man. Anyway, so yeah, the Sassoons. That's funny. I forgot about that. Swazman says, "Hey Jeffrey, one more thing. No more load management. You stay out of my personal life." Oh, he's still talking about the NBA. Sorry.
Yeah. Mhm.
He says you got to play your best players and play them as long as you can each game until they foul out or fall out from exhaustion.
Absolutely not.
No,
That's ridiculous.
yeah, you can what?
You load manage in every sport.
Yeah, even in the playoffs, you're like if you're up 25, you're not playing your best players. What do you?
And by the way,
Lakers load manage.
Ralph's team is very elderly, so they're load managing in the first
Well,
quarter.
the Lakers load manage so this way they have losses. Otherwise, they'd win every game. So I understand why they do it.
God, because they wanted to play
They
the
wanted to
seventh
be in the
seed.
play-in because they're undefeated in the play-in. They're 3-0. So
Gonna hang that banner.
I mean,
they have a play-in. It's not a
Hang
banner. It's a
that
banner.
banner.
Yeah, 3-0 in the play-in. That's
Lakers
because
are like,
the,
we
th-
got-
the play-ins only existed for 4 years, and you missed the playoffs one of those years, and all of them you've been in the play-in, and you are proud of this.
3-0.
Okay,
2 banners for
All
the
right.
Lakers. You got the
I try to avoid
mid-season
that, but, you
tournament
know.
and the play-in win, and that's it.
Right. We're
That's
gonna hang.
it. You're
we're
gonna
gonna
two
hang an
banners up
in-play.
this
We're
year.
hanging in-play banner. We're hanging a play-in board, and then we'll
Board.
hang a championship banner. Yeah, we use a board.
You're
on
not
that.
gonna hang a championship banner, Ralph.
Oh, we will.
You're not, and you know it.
He
You
can't even lie
know
about it. He can't even lie about it.
If it wasn't Denver, I wanted to lose the last game and play OKC because OKC is the worst #1 in the history of the NBA.
Well, I don't know that that's true.
And the Lakers dominate them. They've beaten them 3 out of 4 this year.
Didn't Dirk Nowitzki, as a Dallas Maverick, win the MVP award and then get bounced out in the first round? I'm pretty sure that was one of the worst #1 seed.
True.
That is the worst #1 seed
I think
I've
OKC
ever seen.
gets bounced out in the first round this year by the Kings.
I don't think that's happening.
Listen, now that Ralph's
Because they're
back,
not
we should
experienced
probably
either.
take a break.
Of course.
As you do.
That just makes sense. I'll go get my Sassoons.
Yeah, go with yeah.
Ooh la la.
You don't
No,
want to
by
see
now
Marv
they're
up in a Sassoon.
they're frayed out short shorts, and nobody wants to see that.
Yeah,
So
if they're cut really.
let's just
Moist
take,
one does.
let's take a break and come back. We have more things to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
To celebrate everyone who's customized and saved hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, we got a savings siren that goes off every time someone saves. There it is. It's a really more savings, which really, okay, a lot of savings. Little annoying now. Will you stop saving for 5 seconds?
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And you got to be so careful with your identity, looking out for scams in the email, in the social media, on the telephone, you name it. And it's one of these things where right now, as we're younger, and Keon even younger, where you're like, I don't know how that happens to these old people. What the hell's wrong with these guys? Yeah. And so then as like Ralph and I get closer to scammable age, like you're thinking, that's not going to happen to us. But then you find out, well, some of the people it's happening to are not that much older than us, and it starts to get kind of scary. You're like, well, what if I become dumb about that sort of thing? I mean, listen, I've been around and they've been around during the same time period where, phones to cell phones to computers to emails to text messages to social media messages. So we've all existed in the same time, but it just seems as you get older, you get dumber about stuff, like, getting fooled by things. And a woman in Ohio, she got robbed by a person who was claiming to be Aaron Rodgers. Okay. They met on a messaging app called Viber. I don't know what that is. Do you know what the Viber is? Keon, do you have the Viber?
I'll Google it and see what it is. I don't think I've ever heard of that. No.
All right. Well, see, that's the problem. So she and Aaron talked for a couple of months, and she was confident it was actually him because she's like, well, his profile picture, it was a picture of Aaron Rodgers wearing a Green Bay Packers hat. Yeah. Okay. Well, he's with the Jets now. So,
but if she doesn't watch football, she wouldn't know that.
Then how did the Green Bay Packers hat help? And so
a football player. Did he use like his identity as a football player to scam her?
Yeah, well, I guess according to her, he quote talked about himself personally. The hell that means. So she was so sure he was legit. She gave him her driver's license information, her social security number, and bank account details. So you're like, well,
so there's a massive jump between the thing that she thought and
here's
what
why.
happened.
So in this conversation, it kind of came about that she was needing to move. And so he was like, okay, I will send you $10,000 to help you move out of your apartment and get your life straightened out. But first, you have to send $800 to my lawyer's wife. Sure, that sounds right. That sounds legit. And so then, boom, then that's how she lost $800 to fake Aaron Rodgers. Now, the police are investigating it, but it's unclear if they're making any headway. I mean, in the meantime, they're like, you need to block all Aaron Rodgers on all social media.
So are you saying the police are in the dark about this?
High on ayahuasca, maybe?
Yes.
No, so Viber is an app that allows users to make free calls, send text, pictures, and video messages. It's not how that means that somebody just reached out to her and claimed to be Aaron Rodgers.
Hi, I'm Aaron Rodgers.
How old is she?
That's the thing. I'm not sure. She has
like
to be
WhatsApp.
She has to be very old for this.
You have to be, because there's so
To
many
fall for this.
There's too many things that line up in order for you to fall for this.
The generation before us, and even the older part of our generation, really didn't have all this stuff. So they're the ones that are getting scammed. Where I think more us, we've been around it so long that hopefully we don't lose our faculty. I mean, we seem like we're aware of this stuff. I mean, I'm very aware of it. I get phone calls every day trying to scam me.
Yeah,
Every
yeah. But I
single
just
day.
don't answer phone calls of
Neither do I.
anybody
I
who calls
never-
that I don't know.
Right. I never answer a phone call unless I know it.
I'm looking through the original news story here because I just grabbed part of it. But yeah, I don't have an age, but I mean, you want to call me ageist? Go right ahead. But I'm assuming this is a woman over 65.
I feel as I get older, my kids will try to scam me, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, our kids are going to be scamming us like crazy.
Guaranteed.
So your lawyer's wife needs how much? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm unable to find the age of this person, but that's the thing. It's probably not a younger person. Young people can probably sniff this stuff out pretty quick. Like, I know you're not Aaron Rodgers, and then older people, the one's going to fall for that. I just hope it's not younger than me.
No,
If
the
this woman's
easiest-
younger than me,
The
I don't know what
easiest
to
way
tell
to
you.
find a scam is take the number and put it on Reddit, and the scams all just come up. You can see all the scams associated with that number.
So
what
you
about-
take the
this
number,
is on
and you
Viber,
copy
though.
it, and
Yeah,
then
but
you
But if you
this
take
isn't
that
a phone
phone
number.
number, type it into Reddit, you'll typically see the scam behind that phone number. My son
But
taught me that.
how do you do that when it's not a phone number? It's like an email address, or if it's
You could do
a Twitter
anything that-
handle.
I would
Well,
say any kind of communication thing you have, go type it into Reddit.
Yeah, and because Viber is a messaging app, it might be connected with your phone number.
Did you say there's a messaging app called Vibrator?
Yes. Go ahead and look it up. Look it up on your wife's computer.
Son, Miss Kim don't need a vibrator.
I know. But I'm just saying. I'm,
I'm
just
just
looking
waiting for her to walk in.
Yeah.
The back there.
No.
looking to enjoy the trouble you'll be in if you do
No,
that.
no.
Oh,
I
what
don't
the
have
hell? This
Now, my
guy's
ex-wife, that's a different story.
another Suns bot turning on the Coyotes. F the Yotes and that whole Salt Lake poverty franchise. It's not
Wow.
the Coyotes. Clearly, somebody's an idiot out there who's. I'm going to start blocking these Suns bots. The minute they show up, I'm just going to block them. Because that's just kind of dumb.
Why would the Suns bots do that?
It's a good question. Don't know.
See, I don't think they're Suns bots, Jeffco. I think they're listeners.
They're not listeners. I can tell when they're listeners and when they're not listeners.
All right. Well,
Bruno Baller says the fake Aaron Rodgers will probably turn out to be some 12-year-old punk out there. Well, a 12-year-old punk knows that Aaron Rodgers is on the Jets now, so it's probably somebody from another country, more likely.
Yeah.
Average Joe says, did you guys see Aaron Rodgers believes that Fauci and the government created the AIDS virus? Is that real? I thought that was an Onion story.
No,
Are you? Wait.
there's video of it.
AIDS virus?
He thinks Fauci made AIDS? It was like,
Yes.
this is not going to be good enough.
Yes.
This is not okay. Well, we've taken care of come on, Freddie Mercury. We got him. Now what? Okay, let's get some COVID going.
But was he on the
Doesn't make-
psychedelics when he said that?
I think he's always a little on the psychedelics.
He might have been, but
He must have been in a very dark place, guys.
Okay, Randy, you get one. You get one of those. You can't keep going there.
damn.
You can't keep going there.
Sorry.
Wow, he actually said that. I thought it was a joke. I'm serious. I thought it was a joke.
I saw
post.
the video. He said it with his real
It wasn't
actual.
AI.
I mean,
How many fingers did he have?
Aaron Rodgers. If something happened, no, he had 5 fingers.
Where were they?
On his hands.
Well,
where-
ask fifth
where
letter.
they're supposed to be. No,
How many fingers?
now look. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. Anytime someone has said something that he didn't actually mean, he's been incredibly quick to correct it. That has not happened. Aaron Rodgers said that.
It wasn't Fauci in the American government. It was some Chinese people. They're the ones who made it in a lab.
That's COVID.
Yeah, no, wait. Yeah, well, no, he also said that Fauci made COVID.
He made it.
Yeah.
Well,
It wasn't just the age.
Aaron Rodgers has a very smooth brain.
Is he a smooth operator? I'll shut up now.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Probably a good idea. Quiet Cannon sent me a link. I can't click on the link. Miguel Cardona admits he has a vendetta against a Christian college.
What?
Miguel Cardona.
This is coming from the Washington Examiner. You don't mind if I ask you a question, do you? Who's Miguel Cardona? And why do I care?
He is the Secretary of Education. What show do you think you're listening to? At what point have we ever talked about the Secretary of Education? Ever?
Oh, well, he says, hey, I hear GCU might be closing because of pressure from the federal government. What are these a-holes up to now? I need you guys to tune in to Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM for this kind of stuff. You listen to JD Hayworth. He loves it.
Knew that was coming.
Prison Wallet says, hey, Jeffrey, what's the name of your first pet? Cujo. Not falling for that again, especially not to somebody named Prison Wallet. Somebody named Prison Wallet starts asking me for information. No. Moise one says, I just told my long distance Russian girlfriend about that scam, and we are laughing so hard right now.
Ooh. That's funny.
Somebody either found it and kept it to themselves, or it's actually just somewhere out there waiting to be found. Jason Kelsey, him and his wife probably need to go right to rehab. They are out there getting boozed up and doing crazy stuff. I'm glad they're doing it together because the family that boozes together always makes it. But I guess they're saying that Jason Kelsey was at a Skyline Chili. He was at, and I guess there was a pool of Skyline Chili, and it was at the Great Lumbaby Games at the University of Cincinnati. It's a competition between athletes and academics. And somebody got a pool of Skyline Chili together, and so they dove into there. And so Jason Kelsey got in there and was doing it, and he lost his Super Bowl ring.
Damn.
He lost his actual Super Bowl ring. He's like, "Yep, I legitimately lost it. They couldn't find it. They never found it. They've already thrown all that stuff away. So I can safely assume my Super Bowl ring is now in a landfill someplace in Cincinnati, tri-state area." I didn't think that would happen. Dude, we all knew something like that was going to happen because of the way you drink, buddy. I can't believe you went out with the real ring. You should have had a fake one made. But he said he's already started the process to get a replacement. He says he's not sure the insurance company is going to cover this one, though.
Well, yeah, because his bright idea to protect his Super Bowl ring while submerging himself in a giant pool of chili was to put it in a sock.
You mean in the socks he was wearing?
I'm still trying to figure out exactly did he take the sock off and put the ring in there, or did he just stick the ring in his sock? I'm very unclear. Travis Kelce also said, and this is a direct quote, that the chili pool smelled so bad. So there's just a lot of things happening here, and none of them are good.
I've never been drunk enough to get into a big pool of chili.
And it was at a podcast event for them. So it wasn't even like him just drinking. And it was like, no, they just thought it would be funny to get into a pool of chili. And then he lost the Super Bowl ring.
Who wears their real ring?
Nobody
does that.
I've met some players who walk around with the real thing.
Really?
Yeah, they love it. And they always want
never do that.
They always want, hey, you want to put it on?
Yeah, the guys that win more than one don't. But
no, that's not true.
Really?
A guy I know had more than a couple.
Okay.
Grabbed one of them rings. I was like, holy crap, this thing's like a bracelet for me. It's huge. So yeah, Jason Kelsey, I'm sure people love seeing it. So he's like showing them and everything. But
so if they want to see it, he shows it to them.
He needs an adult supervisor. He needs a chaperone.
So does his wife, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to bring somebody that can watch out for them. He tried to blame one of his producers, saying, I thought he was handling this, but oh well. Big George says, Jeffrey, what is your shirt's logo? Looks like a speedometer. Oh, no. This is it's a VU meter. I saw this online. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like at the radio station.
Yeah.
So I got a VU meter t-shirt.
It's a meter that measures the units of volume unit meter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sick shirt.
That's what they used to look like, Big George, back in the day. Now they're all digital lights.
Yeah. Well, we've got in the station a couple that actually still have the original, like the one in your office, that old board we got from Disney, and then the board that doesn't do anything to take up space in the Fanatic studio. There's a giant Wheatstone board in there. It's just not even hooked up to anything. We're just like, well, if we take it out, there's gonna be a hole in the desk. So I just stack papers on it. So that still has a VU on it. So
yeah.
I like them better. I like them better than the digital ones. The old style.
The digital ones are kind of lame, to be honest.
That's the way we cut our teeth, Jeffco.
I don't know how you would know they're lame, Keon. I don't think you ever look at them.
Ooh.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
That was straight. That was
I'm just
straight
kidding.
damn fire right there.
I'm kidding. I'm
Wow,
kidding.
okay.
He looks at them when I tell him to.
Wow. Straight damn fire right there.
Wow.
Swazman says, tick, 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 Jeffrey. Okay. He says the Kelsey brothers are eventually going to be gone and irrelevant, and I'm impressed they've made it this far because they're big, dumb jocks. Dude, do you not realize that everybody we talk about is a big, dumb jock on this show for the most part?
That is many jocks.
And no, I think, listen, I've always, even before the Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift thing, before anybody was paying attention to Jason Kelsey, I've always liked these guys before they had a podcast. I'm like that. They're funny. They seem like they're good dudes. And I think that, everybody's going to be gone and irrelevant eventually. But I think these guys have a little more staying power because they're just good guys.
Yeah, they're just big, dumb, goofy guys. They just like having fun. What's the problem with that?
They're like Gronk.
Yeah,
they're a smarter version of Gronk.
And they're champions.
Gronk's made a lot of money. I mean,
I
they're
don't
doing
know.
that podcast and making a ton of money.
Gronk never lost any of his Super Bowl rings in Chile that I'm aware of. But look,
Well,
I
that
just
we know of.
Wait, whoa. But somebody broke into his house and stole his jewelry box out of his house because he had a bunch of roommates. And you're a multi-millionaire and you have to have roommates, Gronk? Come on, grow up.
It's not that he has to have roommates. It's that he realized
Can't
he
tie
had
his
enough money.
shoes, so somebody has got to be around.
No, it's because he realized he has enough money to basically make his house a permanent frat house, which is exactly what he wants.
Stuff gets stolen from the frat house.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm sorry. I'll put Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey above Gronk in the intelligence category every time.
I mean, I was just kidding because there's no way I think that either Kelsey is actually dumber than Gronk. But look, I think with these guys, I like to celebrate guys like this, guys who, as far as we know, haven't done anything crazy.
So
They're
far.
never, any things can change, and once that
Other
happens,
than- other
nobody
than dating Taylor Swift.
nobody
I mean,
will turn on you faster than me. But if you don't do anything wrong, like why are we rooting for people to be irrelevant? Why is it that you're so excited for these guys to disappear when the guys you'd like to disappear are like the people who are putting their hands on women or stealing from others or driving their car so fast that they kill somebody? Like those are the people that we should probably push aside, but not root for like actually good guys. Like,
Okay, but let me give you the intelligence level. If Travis and Jason, they're community college, then Gronk is online school.
University of
maybe, yeah,
and his sister takes his tests.
Maybe,
that's true.
yeah.
That's a true story.
Yeah, yep.
Swazman says, "Yeah, remember Gronk lived in Tucson. He's a U of A guy. That's why I say he's like online. He's not even community college."
Yeah.
Hamilton Porter says Gronk and Jason have done WrestleMania. So next up is Travis. They're just dumb guys having fun.
But also, if someone pays you money to be on WrestleMania,
I'll do it.
I mean, you show up, you're goofy, you take the money, you go home, and guess what? You were on TV for a little while, and it was kind of fun.
As long as I don't lose and you don't hurt me, I'll go to WrestleMania.
If you have these thoughts about these, what do you think about Marshawn?
Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah.
Well,
He's
you
a
got to watch
character.
your chickens. Got to take care of your all chickens.
I don't think he's as dumb as he tries to play, but then he also has made some mistakes with the drinking and driving, but he also hasn't hurt anybody that I know of. So yeah, the Marshawn Lynch, and I think he's sort of faded away. So,
I think he's a brilliant business
I
guy.
got no problem with Marshawn Lynch.
I think he's a brilliant business guy.
Brilliant.
The way he created Beast Mode and how he made money off that, and now everything he's doing outside of
that was
football.
kind of an accident, but
Moist One says part owner of the Kraken.
Yeah,
Moist One.
he's a part
well,
of
I mean, he had all
okay.
this money. He's got. Here's the thing that I would credit Marshawn Lynch with. He has people around him that are smarter than he is, and that will not take advantage of him.
Okay, that's cool, but I've also seen him be brilliantly quick. Just the guy from Arrested Development did this murder mystery thing. It's like an improv kind of game show thing. Marshawn Lynch went on that, and he was fast, and he was funny, and he was clever. And you don't get that from being dumb,
I don't think he's dumb at all. I think he is smart enough to have people around him to handle his affairs,
except for designated drivers.
Well, that's true.
Well, yeah.
That's true.
Well, yeah. Look, all I'm saying is
But he hasn't done anything to children or kid or women or the guy's been other than the drunk driving thing. I mean,
and like if you get one, like if you drive drunk, like if you are just wrong about how drunk you are. People do make mistakes. It's just like you can't keep making that same mistake, and there are a lot of guys that do that as well.
I don't think he has.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. Also, Marshawn does a lot of really good things in the community of Oakland. That's where he's from, and he's not like one of these guys that'll set up a charity and then have other people run it. Like he shows up. Those kids actually get to meet Marshawn Lynch, and that means something. And I don't think
Marshawn Lynch is a bad dude at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
I just think that he's also like the nonprofit. He's involved. I think that there are definitely a lot of guys who would just be bored with the day to day of that.
I get you. Yeah.
Hamilton Porter says Marshawn Lynch will always be, owning my favorite highlight when he stole the golf cart at Cal. Oh, that is such an amazing video. You're right.
Yeah,
that is good. All right, got to take a break. When we come back, other assorted weird crap. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I'm a waitress, so I know the difference between regular shoes and Skechers slip-resistant work shoes. Skechers slip-resistant work shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta primavera.
Thanks.
While regular shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta prima. Whoa! And that difference is why I wear Skechers slip-resistant work shoes to keep me safe on my feet. Plus, they're easy to clean and have Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam for comfort throughout my shift. Get America's #1 selling work shoe at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever work shoes are sold.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have
to take out the garbage. I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom.
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. Fake pills with fentanyl are the #1 killer of youth in Arizona. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local. Wonder here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so what's going on tonight? What do we have going on tonight? The Diamondbacks playing tonight?
D-backs in San Francisco tonight. As a matter of fact, I think the game might be starting here shortly.
6:45 p.m. is or 5:45 p.m. I don't know. I can't ever tell.
About an hour from now. Yeah.
Sure, whatever you say. And then the Suns, they don't play until Saturday. So that thing with the Timberwolves starts then.
And then we used to have a hockey team, but they're done playing. So
either way, they were done playing. So that's fine. Pierre is on the text line 888-368-1580. And he says he's sad that the Coyotes are leaving. He says sad day for hockey fans in Quebec for some reason. He says, I'll still come to your state, but me and Rere, Gordon, Fisherman, and Hunter will not have any more hockey games to go to. Maybe we could all watch the Raptors play the Suns instead.
Could be.
Yeah, that was the only reason the damn Canadians were coming down here.
Well, that's too
flooding
bad.
the text line.
I mean, now I hope they come down here because they want to have, some fun with us. Meet us up at, some place and buy us,
that's not happening.
Voluminous amounts of food and beverages.
You let me know how that goes. I'll just
What?
I'm just not going. Swazman says, remember when they used to do the Macarena dance at Sun Devil Stadium for the Cardinal games during the Jake Plummer, Pat Tillman era? Oh, those were the glory days, he says. I never did the Macarena.
Why were those the glory days?
I immediately declared any place I was a Macarena-free zone. The dumbest damn dance I ever. It's not even a dance. It's just dumb. Macarena was dumb as hell. Did you ever do the Macarena, Randy? Ralph?
No.
Keon?
No.
Hell no. Hey, Macarena. Shut up.
Those guys made so much money off of that song.
I don't mean to sound grumpy, but that song just was annoying.
I wish
hated
I
it.
could make one annoying song and live off of it forever. That seems like a nice,
We all do.
gig.
We all do. But that doesn't mean we want to listen to it.
Oh no.
What was the other one like the Macarena? It wasn't the Macarena though. What was the other one? It was
Hokey
like
Pokey.
the Hokey. No,
But number
what was
5?
it? What was it? Say it?
Mamba number 5.
Maybe.
I mean, number 1, 2, 3, and 4 were not
They
quite
were
good
bad,
enough.
but
Yeah.
5 was
really hit the.
that's the champion.
nerve. And then
Another
there was
annoying one-hit wonder.
what is that? What was that? The little Korean guy on the American Idol.
Yeah, what was his
Dat
name?
Fan? No, that was the comic.
No.
What was that song he would do? Oh, Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style. There we go.
That guy's
Gangnam
still
Style.
around. Yeah, I don't think that guy was on American Idol, but
What about oh my God, what was the guy with the large pants? Can't touch this.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, MC Hammer.
Yeah, MC Hammer.
Ringless Joe says, I don't think the Cardinals ever had glory days. You are correct. Hefty Lefty says, Cupid Shuffle sucks too.
Cupid Shuffle. There we go. That's what I was talking about.
Who does
Okay.
that?
Never heard of that.
Never even heard it.
Oh yeah, the Cupid Shuffle.
Because
Yeah.
you've never
You
been
play
to
a
a black
little
wedding,
You've-
clearly.
You've never heard a Cupid Shuffle? Have you guys
Play
been
a
to
little.
weddings
Well,
lately?
maybe I just don't know it by its name.
I mean, you haven't heard the Cupid Shuffle?
No.
Guess I don't get out much.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Randy will find and play
I mean,
for us.
You can say it sucks. Just don't. If you go to a black wedding, don't say that. Keep that opinion
Oh
to
yeah, don't
yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So you're
Yeah.
saying our whiteness is why we don't know it.
I don't.
It's
I'm not
a
saying
Cupid-
anything. All I'm
Cupid
saying
shuffle.
is,
You gotta-
I'm saying if you don't know what it is,
You got to have that.
There's
kinda
no way that you
two-step
could have gone
thing
there and not
going.
know.
It's
Yeah.
not like I said like. See what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't hate this yet.
No. Yeah.
We got a brand new dance.
It's a new
yeah.
dance.
And then then they tell you where to go in the
Yeah, oh,
dance.
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
which.
I'm not
direction.
offended by this at all.
See,
I
I'm
like
telling
it.
you.
This is nothing like the Macarena.
Is this annoying to people or something?
No, I don't think this
Well,
is.
somebody
annoying.
texted in to say it sucked, and I.
Hefty Lefty thinks it does.
Okay, just saying.
I can see it being a wedding thing.
Yeah, like
This
I
is
don't-
a wedding thing. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Played at a lot of white weddings too.
Okay.
It just
Oh,
gets
yeah.
old
Yeah.
real fast, he says.
Oh yeah. Well, I could see.
Yeah, I mean,
Any song can get old real fast.
Well,
this
yeah.
song doesn't
I mean-
have staying power. You're not supposed to listen to it every day.
I think we were supposed to go to the right. Oh, now the left.
Do I have to slide to the right and the left?
No, it's kind of like a.
See
like
what
a
I'm
shuffle,
talking about
you know?
right there? I mean,
Well,
this
Ralph is always dancing by himself.
So it's the
so-
Cupid
Oh
shuffle.
yeah,
problem.
this
You
is
just
it
kinda
right here. Yeah,
shuffle to the
Cupid
right,
shuffle.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can turn that off now.
Yeah.
Shuffle to the
Well,
left.
You know,
I've done that. Yeah.
If
like
I ever
my
get
dance.
invited to a black wedding, I don't want you to like
no
wear
one's
it
gonna
out for
find
me.
you.
Well, maybe someday when
No one's
Keon decides that he's found the right lady.
That might be your only shot.
I don't go to many
He might not
weddings.
want
Yeah,
to.
Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey just. The last wedding I heard you had to go to, I believe you said was at Wife Point. So yeah, it's
He'd come to your
it's-
wedding,
it's
though,
not-
Keon. No, he would come to your wedding.
I almost had to go to 2 weddings this year.
Oh my God.
so you
Got out
means
of
you
one
got
of
out of one,
That was close.
Yeah.
narrowly
Oh, yeah.
escaped it.
Yeah, he had to make a deal with his wife, though.
Oh,
Hefty
man.
Lefty says, I went to 8 weddings in one summer. That's probably
Oh,
why
dear
it's
God.
on my don't play at my
Dear
wedding list
Like,
now.
look,
God.
I got dragged to 5 weddings in one summer, and I didn't know any of the people getting married. I'm still trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
figure out
You
how.
get the Macarena, you get the Cupid Shuffle, you get the Boot Scoot and Boogie. No, what was the other one? What's the other one? There's another one.
Let me just tell you
Besides
this.
the Cupid Shuffle.
I will never go to 5 weddings in any given year because I know a simple word. No, I'm not going.
Mhm.
No,
Unless your wife tells you.
no.
Sure.
Slow-mo
If that
Zoe.
worked 100% of the time, you'd be going to no weddings this year.
Slow Mo Zoe wants to know who let the dogs out.
Yeah. Who?
There was a time.
Berg says
rough.
Hammer was awesome, but William Hung sucked when he is saying she bang, she bang.
That was
which
the
of
guy
you
that was
four
on
did the
American Idol.
YMCA.
Oh, the YMCA. There you go. The YMCA.
I had to jog around a gym to the YMCA in gym class, but I never did the YMCA. I refuse. I'm not gonna be a letter in your stupid game. Pierre says, oh, Randy, do not listen to Jeffrey. I'd be more happy to meet you next time. I am in the Phoenix.
I'd love to meet you, Pierre.
We
I'd
can
love
go
to
to
absolutely meet you.
Cigar More.
Yes,
Smoke
absolutely.
Alec Bradley.
Yes. Yeah. Alec Bradley's.
Fresnado
Yeah.
Torpedoes.
Mm,
And
there we
drink
go.
some brandy.
Mm.
Maybe make out back by the garbage.
No, no. No.
I added that
I
part.
don't- Yeah, I
'cause
think you
that's
probably did. Yeah.
still sounded
Mm.
French though, didn't it?
No, no. Mm-mm.
Moist One says you can't get away with talking about a chili ring and ignore all my other texts. The hell I can't. The hell I can't, Moist One.
Moist one like that was gonna go anywhere good.
Ringless Joe says that one song that goes "Everybody clap your hands" is
clap,
up there.
clap your hands. Yeah, I don't remember what the song's called.
What
though.
is that one? That's the one I'm thinking.
I might already hate that song.
That's an annoying song, yeah.
Big George says I actually like Gym Class Heroes Cupid's Chokehold. That
It's
gets
a-
old real fast. That song gets old real fast. It's not a bad song. It's just probably 2 minutes too long. T-Licious says William Hung was, the American Idol guy there. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. guy.
Gangnam Style was a very different man.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So William
guy's still
Hung
out.
Yeah.
did the She Bang,
Very
She Bang.
Mhm.
And it was
Psy.
Psy did Gangnam Style.
Yeah, and he's
He's
still
huge.
he's still big in Korea. Like he's been making hits over there all the time. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't call him a one-hit wonder in his country.
She bang? Is that
for
what you're
us
talking
here.
about? She
Well,
bang?
yeah, but to
Corey
have a
Hart
one-hit
is like
wonder,
Elvis in Canada, but here you just like sunglasses at night and he went home.
but having one great hit in a country that's not yours is
See, I don't even see him here.
he didn't even sing a song in English.
No, he's
The
in
song
Korea.
was in Korean and it was a hit here. Like
He
that's,
fills stadiums in Korea.
yeah.
Hefty Lefty says that "Clap Your Hands" song gets used at a bunch of NBA games too. It always seems very
Yeah.
forced.
Really?
Yeah. Swazman says, I think Randy is thinking about something else. I think Randy's thinking about the electric slide.
That's the one.
Oh, that
That's the
might
one.
be it. That might be it.
No, don't play it.
Also another wedding favorite shows up
How
at
did
the
we
weddings
get on
often.
this? How did we
Well,
even
you
get on
asked me
this?
to play.
You were talking. You started talking about the Macarena.
yeah.
I don't know how we got on the Macarena, but then
got
we
on
started
the
thinking
Macarena,
about
then
I
you
all
asked
the
me to
other
play
anything now.
all the
We're
other
good.
dances related to that were annoying that people dance to because it has words that tell you how to dance.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Here's the hokey pokey. We could play that.
I really don't want the pokey
Hokey Pokey is the OG, but we all
Yeah,
know it.
that's the OG.
We don't need to. We don't need to hear it.
It's easy to dance to.
So, Randy,
Put your
I know
right
that
foot in, put your
first,
left
Randy,
foot in.
you were not a fan of the robot camera, the robot umpire thing for baseball, and then you've come around. You're like, actually, because of Angel Hernandez and friends,
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
kind of a fan.
Yeah.
But one of the things I saw somebody do a story that might have been Sports Illustrated, so it could have been AI writing it for all I know.
Could
but they were talking about how people like Angel Hernandez, they're like, well, that's the reason Major League Baseball needs a ball strike challenge system. And I'm like, well, that sounds reasonable. Why not have the ability to challenge an egregiously bad call?
That's the
Because the
robot
games
umpire.
would be like 4 hours and 97 minutes. That's why
Well,
it would
no.
be it's just horribly long. Every time, hey, are you
Most
kidding me?
umps aren't making every single call wrong, but when it's
Depending-
really obvious, you should have a right to say, whoa, 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 whoa.
So you get a guy in there, and your batter is up to bat. Okay, let's say you're Torey Lovello and your batter is up to bat. Let's say it's
Well, I've already
you know,
mismanaged the pitching. Let's
Ketel
go.
Marte. We're not talking about pitching. We're not talking about anything else. And all of a sudden, Ketel Marte gets a marginal pitch, and you're like, come on, that was a ball. What are you doing? And then suddenly it's timeout. Challenge the pitch.
Okay.
Now,
but you don't do
how
that
many
every time.
challenges? How many challenges do they get?
All right. Well, then have
And
I don't know how many it should be, but have a limited amount.
So
Because
they do
there's
that in the
two in-
minor leagues right now.
Hmm.
It's called the ball strike challenge, and they're allowed 3 challenges, and they
Okay.
literally take a matter of 5 to 7 seconds.
Because you have the robot umpire there.
Right.
That's where you're
The Hawkeye
referring
system,
to.
right.
And-
I just say have the robot umpire, and then if you want to do that afterwards, have the challenge. That's fine. Anything to get Angel Hernandez fired, I'm all for.
they're just
That
going to
system
put
will
him.
get him fired.
They're going to put him in the outfield or something. Or
Angel
they're gonna put him on
Hernandez,
first or third
he's not going
base.
to get fired. He's part of the union.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
They won't
true.
fire
He's
him.
gonna
They'll just
run the
move him
union.
somewhere.
He's going to come up there. He's going to call a ball that's 4 inches outside a strike. They're going to call that a challenge, and he's still not going to get fired.
You know, I know we're out of time, but this year, if you've been watching baseball, it's been some of the worst umpiring
Yes.
I've seen.
Oh, it has been.
Years
Yeah,
ago.
no, I agree.
And it's
I agree, Ralph.
consistently getting worse.
I agree.
All right, guys, that's 2 hours down, and we got 1 to go. We come back. I said we talk some NFL football. Let's do that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppable in wash scent beads.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar is with us, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Hey, is it my imagination, or is Fish Tank and Choro fighting each other because one of them thinks the other one's Donnie? There's this big, long discussion going on between Choro and Fish Tank, and at the end, you're like, oh, I thought you were somebody else.
Well, like it can't be because Fish Tank blocked Donnie, so you can't accidentally mistake Choro for.
No, Choro mistook Fish Tank for somebody else. I don't know what's going on. I just don't know why I got to be tagged in it.
I did see it. It was like 18 notifications on my app, so I was like, okay, well, I'm not reading that.
Yeah, this big old conversation about the Coyotes and taxes going towards hockey teams.
It did seem like a civil conversation, though, just from skimming it. So it didn't seem like it was getting ugly or anything.
These are the days of our sports taxes. Well, it doesn't matter. Coyotes are gone. It's over. It's all over.
Well, I was playing that because of Donnie and Fish Tank and Choro.
What little drama?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I do kind of roll back to. The fact that as much as we don't want Alex Morello involved with anything because a simple $1 million payment, we could have avoided all of this.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it really wasn't asking for much money to do that thing in Tempe. It was only like a couple $100 million of taxpayer contribution to that. The rest was being paid for. So no, it was.
Yeah, it was
and
200 million.
Yeah. So it could have been a lot worse. Just saying. So it's like, I still don't want Alex Morello anywhere near this because the first screw up, not the way the journey went after.
Yeah, but even with the stuff in Tempe, like they didn't really get the word out there to clarify what their position actually was. So it led to a whole bunch of misinformation about what their position was, and people voted against it. Like, that's on you.
He is bad at things. So let's just move on and hope that we never see or hear about him again. 888-368-1580. So Baker's Cocky Hen says, Ralph's looking like he could check a dude into the billboards and knock out some teeth. He's like, I'm liking your jersey.
Thank you. Yeah, this is This is a Jonathan Quick jersey, an alternate jersey.
I'm confused. Yeah, it looks like a Lakers jersey, but you say it's a Kings jersey.
The Kings used to wear these colors back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
Them and the Lakers would share colors when they played in the Forum. This is a throwback jersey, and you can see it. It has the newer.
Jonathan Quick was a goalie, though. Am I mistaken?
Yes, he was. He still is.
All right.
He's the winningest American-born goalie in NHL history.
Mm.
Played for the Kings. He won 2 cups for the Kings.
You've worn uglier.
This is not ugly. This is really nice.
I didn't say it was like I said you've worn uglier.
Look at that. That's just sweet.
That's a dainty little Queen's hat right there. So
it's old school.
It's a Queen hat.
I believe that's
It's
a
nice.
king hat. I don't think that's
it's just
Queen's
it's a crown.
hat.
If you put it on
Ralph.
a woman,
It's
they're
on Ralph.
queen. You put it on a guy,
Okay.
it's king.
I mean, it's not going to fit. I mean,
Ringless
saying.
Joe says, Ralph, how you feeling about the Lakers? Your chances against the Nuggets?
So
Be honest.
my first honest reaction is we don't have a chance in hell
Mhm.
because it's not a good matchup for the Lakers. It's just not. But I don't know, man. Well, I guess we'll see. I really am curious to see the first 2 games. If the Lakers can pull out one of the first 2 games, I will have more confidence.
If the
But
Lakers are able to pull off one of the first 2 games, they'll lose in 5.
No, I think if they pull out one of the first 2 games, we'll see a different series this year. But if they get 0-2 in Denver, I think it's over. They'll probably get swept or they'll lose in 5. I'm just being honest. I just think it's a bad matchup for the Lakers. This is one of those matchups that just sucks.
Hefty Lefty says, Jeffrey is so rich that a couple $100 million is kind of like chump change. Hey,
It's true.
I am not rich. Close to tax time. Kiss the Cook says, Angel Hernandez can umpire the men's bathroom. I think he meant can't. Or maybe he can. I don't know. Kiss the Cook sends some weird crap. I don't even know what to
You
think.
probably missed some
Kiss
balls.
the Cook.
So sometimes he sends texts and they're missing a very crucial letter.
Yeah, or
and
word.
the whole thing doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
even though it actually probably was a very good text.
Mhm.
Lost Toby says, is the jersey ugly or does Ralph make it that way?
Mm.
I didn't say this one was ugly.
It's not an ugly jersey.
This one reminds me of the mustard bottle that I got in my fridge.
The Kings were known for their gold and purple and gold. Lakers and Kings. I mean,
Yeah,
that
purple
was
and
the days
gold.
of the
A lot of teams have done that,
Mhm.
where they're a lot of like their pro sports teams
Yeah.
are wearing similar colors. So
Lakers, Kings, and Sparks all wore the same colors.
Who are the Sparks again? I'm sorry. What?
That'd be WNBA.
Oh, sorry.
Son of a bitch.
What?
Sorry, I have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news here on the Daily Blender.
This is breaking news.
All right, quarterback Jaden Rashada is leaving ASU, entering the transfer portal, and Sam Levitt expected to be named the starting quarterback. Who is Sam Levitt? I don't know.
Well, Sam
Well-
Levitt's a kid that came over from one of the big schools, and he and Jaden Rashada had a competition last year. And it sounds like to me, if Jaden Rashada's leaving,
Yep. So I wouldn't hate that is what Randy's saying. Like Sam Levitt came from Michigan State, and the guy's got a big arm. I think he was a 5-star when that's what I'm trying to look up right
he
now.
was
Like
a 5-star guy originally.
I hate
and
losing
so-
anybody.
So is Rashada. Yeah, but this is what happens sometimes when you have 2 guys that can be the starter, and both of them have aspirations of playing in the NFL, and they're the same age.
Yeah.
One guy's getting in the transfer portal when they lose, and the team usually lets you know, hey, look, you're not going to be the starter, and you can make whatever plans you need to accordingly.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like to me that Coach Dillingham has made a decision.
Wasn't Jaden Daniels at ASU?
Jaden Daniels was
Boy, that was
with
smart.
for a couple
with
of years,
Herm.
yeah, and they never developed him as a passer. So he
No.
went to LSU where that would happen.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
Fifth letter says, Jeffrey, you and Randy bet last week on the Suns not getting the 6th spot or something like that, like a pizza bet. Who do we bet that with, Keon or who?
No, it was between you and Randy.
Randy was saying they would get the 6th spot, and I said they wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't think they were going to have the 6th spot. So
Well,
you
that
owe
means
it.
I get pizza.
Yeah, you
so
owe
I mean,
all right. I owe you
all-
pizza, Randy.
all I have to say about that is thank you.
Oh, brother. Now you get
Wow.
nothing playing that. No, listen, now you're right. I remembered that because I really didn't think that the Suns were going to be able to get back up into that 6 spot. I thought they were going to be in the 7.
You were pretty surly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way I felt about it, but I'm glad to be wrong. I'm glad to pay that pizza bet because we didn't have to be in the skanky playing thing. You know, we didn't
Why
have
is it
to
skanky?
because you were in
Skanky.
it because the
Oh,
Lakers
that-
were in it.
Oh, that's why.
Skanky.
Yeah.
Hey, are we doing a draft show next week?
You know, I've been thinking about that.
Boy, I hope so.
Kind of did
You
last
know,
year.
How
Palm
much do I
Springs
care?
Palm Springs is doing one.
Yeah, because well, no, they're not. they're doing a network one. Yeah, and
No, he's he's
no,
doing
he's
one.
no,
Yeah.
he's stepping aside. He's doing a remote. He's doing a draft remote, and then at 5, he's just turning it over to Infinity.
Huh?
So if
Are we
we
doing
do
that?
it, I
Are
don't
we-
know what we're doing. What do you want to do? I hadn't really. I've been thinking about it
I
because
think we should do the first hour and then we should turn it over to Infinity.
so just do our regular time slot and then
Yeah.
go over to them at 6. By the way,
Yeah.
Infinity is what CBS Sports used to be. CBS Sports Radio has become Infinity Sports. So that's what we're talking about. We're not saying we're going to be on forever.
Because
That
they're
would-
infinitely better than
I
everybody
mean, what
else.
time does the draft start?
5
So,
p.m.
I mean, in the first
Good
hour,
one.
you might get maybe
Yeah, a pick or two.
5 picks if you're lucky.
Well,
You
I
know what,
said that
Ralph?
I think the broadcast
Um,
starts at 5. I don't know when they actually start picking. So we might
know
just
what?
be sitting around.
Remember last year, you guys did on an extra hour to get more picks.
And I realized that was a mistake.
Well, I remember Randy loved it.
We were having a good time
We
and
were.
we were like, man, this is going great. These are interesting picks. Things were and then we're like, let's see what happens. And then we were like, okay.
I think you
No,
had
we
more
were waiting
faith.
on Bill Belichick. We were waiting on the Patriots
You
or
were
something.
you were convinced Bill Belichick was going to make a move, and I was like, that is just no guarantee. Bill is not a trade up guy
See,
in the draft.
I remember last
was
year
very
I
disappointing.
wasn't on the air for the draft show. So
I don't remember what.
Mhm. No.
I remember
Wasn't
Randy
here.
wasn't there, but I don't
Yeah,
remember
it was,
why.
It was Ralph and me and
Yeah.
Keon and
Yeah.
there and then Raven Kid showed up.
That's what it was. It was
Mhm.
Raven. Kid. I
Raven
remember
Kid.
that. I remember that
Because he was owed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was very good.
I overpaid, but it was like paying him back with interest. So,
Mm.
how many picks you think we'll get in that first, 5 o'clock
4.
hour?
4.
Well, because we got to get to at least the Arizona Cardinals, but if they trade out, then it doesn't matter. My Colts are down at 15.
You won't get to 15.
No, Seahawks are right behind it
You
at
won't get
16.
You
Yeah,
probably would. You're
because-
probably going to get 6 or 7 the
Because it's
first
like,
hour.
yeah, it's like 10 minutes between picks or something like
5.
that. And
Because I
maybe
think there'll be a
5 or
lot of
5,
trade activity
but-
from 4 on.
a lot of teams will sit there and wait until the last
4
second to get
or
the card.
5 because you got commercials.
Yeah,
and
and then
stuff.
of course the NFL, because they have decided to make this a giant party.
Oh yeah.
They've got celebrity, people coming up and giving
yeah.
the pick,
Yeah.
or Make a Wish kids and all that stuff. So like it
Yeah.
just makes the whole thing take way longer. If I agree with Ralph, if we get through 5 picks, we'll be lucky.
Okay, in that
Ralph.
case, then
I'm the one that said 5 first.
No, I was
we'd
me.
get to see what the Bears do, the Commandos do, the Patriots do, and the Cardinals. At
Mhm.
least who takes their slot, because I don't think they're going to keep that pick.
Cardinals are gonna they're gonna trade back. Yeah.
Then the Chargers.
I
Do we
don't know how
want to
you
go
know
to
that.
7? Do you really want? I don't know if I want to go to 7.
No.
6:30.
No, we want to go till 6.
Or is there a target? Like we want to be on until so and so pick.
6.
Pick
We want to
16.
be on till 6 and then let Infinity take it.
Pick 16.
16.
really-
Cardinals have 2 picks in the first round.
Dear
they got the
God.
4 and the 27.
Yeah,
16.
you're
We
not going
wouldn't
to
get
want to
up
wait until the
like
27.
9.
We are not
depends.
going home anytime you'd like if we wait until.
I mean, if we can
until
get
27.
Friday off, I'll do the whole damn draft. First round.
Well, I mean, that's up to Radio Ron. Let's see what Radio Ron says.
No, I don't want to ask him.
You're going to
No.
get that text. and it's gonna have a middle finger on it.
I don't want to ask him
Middle
because
finger
then he
emoji.
might try to make us
Ron,
do a
I
vote.
can send you the middle finger emoji if you want to use it.
just so you know, pre-warning, so that it's not directed at you. It's just so
for
you can
you.
copy and paste it and use it for yourself.
Mm.
Yeah, it's for you.
Big George says you guys should do that like last year, going to 7:45 p.m. Oh, I guess we went that late, really?
Ron
7:45?
says,
We were up for
Yeah,
like
'cause
19
no.
picks.
Yeah, we were in the second half of the first round of the draft.
I think
So
like
yeah,
19.
yeah.
So I guess we were having fun up till 7. So I mean, we could go to 7 again if we felt like it. I don't know. I don't want to have to be sorting this out on draft night. How far would we get if we went to 7 p.m.? How many?
It's so hard to predict. This,
maybe to the 16, maybe
to 7. No, I don't
See,
know.
I don't think you should do it this way. You either do it all the way, or don't do it at all. That's the way.
Or we just stop at a certain point because we don't care.
At 6.
I think the thing is, are you really the only person here with anything really to be excited about is Keon with the Commandos, and they're picking number 2, so we'll definitely get that.
I still think the Cardinals at 4 because of
they're trading back.
Even if they do, that's still interesting. Like that,
but they'll trade back farther than we're ready to find out what they're going to get.
We have no idea that's how that's going.
I say we get off at 5
what makes you
before it
think
starts
that?
and just go right to infinity.
I have no idea where the Cardinals are trading
let
to.
the
Do
pros
you?
do it.
We could go to infinity at 3 just to be safe.
There
Just-
we
just-
go.
just-
now we're
just-
talking.
yeah.
Jeff, go.
Maybe you start
See?
later.
Why
You and
risk it?
me.
Here's what we'll do. In the left channel, we'll have the betting shows, and then the right channel, we'll have the infinity draft. If people can just choose which era they want to listen to.
There you go.
Unless they're in a car, in which case you get both. And sorry,
Cause massive accidents all over the valley.
Yeah.
So, okay, if we're going to chase the Cardinals and what they do, that could push much later into the night. And then, I don't know.
Look, if we're chasing the Cardinals, they're not going to pick until about 7 or 7 through 11.
I mean,
one of those picks between 7 and 11.
You think
is where
that? Yeah, okay.
Cards
Or-
will pick
well,
probably.
maybe 6 and 11 because the Giants are sitting there.
You think it's
And
going to be the Giants, huh?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I do know
Oh,
that the
you've
Giants.
mocked some drafts, Keon. What the hell?
Well, first off, I don't mock trades. I think it's a pointless exercise. I have no idea how
This is
anyone can predict and
Almost
know
absolute.
trades.
Oh, well, it's going to happen. We just don't know who, right?
We,
Okay.
it's not absolute.
You should do like 4
who
or
is
5
telling
different
you
versions.
this?
You got the Vikings, you got the Giants. The Giants have 2 in the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
You have to let the Vikings trade up and make the biggest mistake ever. I think it's
Yeah,
great.
so that's the thing. I mean, yeah, if the Vikings want to trade up and get JJ McCarthy at 4, which again, I do see some NFL guys really like it, but
Second, third stringer.
there, and part of it is like I don't think that JJ McCarthy's bad. Like I just think that there's so much on his tape you just don't know. There are games where he threw the ball 13 times. Like how can you learn anything from that?
He's a second coming of Charlie Whitehurst.
So, but yeah, so I okay, no,
geez,
no,
really?
not at all.
Remember
Charlie
Clipboard
You're
White
giving him a lot of credit.
Clipboard Jesus. I do remember that
wow.
nickname.
Remember that Clipboard Jesus?
Because he had the
Yeah.
hair and
Yeah.
somebody called him Charlie Christhurst.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that's.
Who was
gonna
that kid with the Oakland? That kid. That wasn't. But what was that kid's name?
Which one? The bust?
Yes. What was
the
his
first
name?
round pick?
I can't think of it right now.
He was terrible.
He was another ginger. What was his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking. Oh, the guy from USC.
Yes. What was his name?
Um,
That would be for me. That's what JJ McCarthy's going to be.
Big George says, do what you did last year. You went until you were done. You know, just happened to be 7:45 p.m. You guys provide the best draft coverage of anybody.
Thanks a lot, George.
You don't have to yell, Randy. He can hear you. Just I angrily screaming at it for a compliment.
I don't want to be on the air after 6. You know me.
No, I know you.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I really don't know what to do.
You talk
about
about
this.
Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, Marinovich.
Yeah,
that's
Todd
his name.
Marinovich, Jamarcus Russell.
JJ McCarthy.
They're hyping JJ McCarthy the way they hyped Jay Cutler. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Jay Cutler was not even on the board.
But that's
and
the
then
thing.
They hyped him so hard, and he sucked.
I have no idea how to go with this because they also hyped up Josh Allen, and he came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Nobody was
true.
watching Wyoming football, and then all of a sudden he pops up, and I was just like, "This guy's gonna suck," and I was clearly incorrect about that. Right. So like
McCarthy just hasn't.
with McCarthy,
what
it's
has he
like,
done?
well, that's the thing is, it's not the thing that makes McCarthy to me the worst evaluation. Like I hate having to figure out what to do with him. Is I don't know if it's can't or didn't. Like because John
fair.
Harbaugh likes to run the ball so much, because Blake Corum was so good, and if you can give the ball to Blake Corum 25 times a game and just win, just do that. I don't know if they didn't throw with McCarthy because he can't, or if they did that because they didn't want to.
But he's not a number 4 pick.
No, that's hyperinflation going on
I think
there.
he can throw. I think he can. He's got to be on the right team.
He's got the ability to make all the throws, as they say. You know, he can throw any route. That's not the issue. It's you haven't seen him do it, so you don't know what consistency is.
Fourth round.
Yeah. And then there are some throws, especially the ones where you kind of have to throw it in the middle of the field and like layer it so that it's over the linebacker but short of the safety.
Ralph,
you
you're
didn't do it
saying
well.
3rd or 4th round pick. I think he's probably maybe a second round guy.
I just think he doesn't have the book to judge him to that point. I mean, fine, second's okay, but first, the number 4 pick in the draft, that would be insanity if the Vikings
No,
do
that'd
that.
be crazy. Yeah.
That would just show you where they're at.
We got to take a break. Let's pick this up when we come back. There's people on the text line with a lot to say. I still don't know what the hell we're going to do. I figure we'll figure that out next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NBA play-in tournament continuing on Friday night to determine the 8 seeds in both the East and the West. In the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat, a 1.5-point favorite at home against the Chicago Bulls, but the Heat will play without Jimmy Butler, who suffered an MCL injury in their loss to the Philadelphia 76ers on Wednesday. Miami minus 122 on the money line. Chicago plus 104 with an over-under of 207. New Orleans will take on Sacramento in the Western Conference play-in game. Sacramento, a 1.5-point favorite, minus 118. New Orleans plus 100. Over under at 212.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppable in-wash scent beads.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmvdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmvdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy
all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and the station.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
So, Ralph, what are the Weekend Warriors all about?
Well, we talk about sports.
National sports?
Of course.
Regional sports?
Sure.
Arizona sports?
Yeah. And we also interview local athletes, coaches, and sports-related business owners to share their amazing stories.
But what if they don't have an amazing story?
Then we talk about something else. You know what, Neil? You're fired.
Again? Well, listen in for great sports talk, amazing interviews, and to see if I have a job next week.
You won't. It's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Henry Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hefty Lefty says, Henry Winkler really sounds like he's putting 100% effort for that macular degeneration ad. And that's what I appreciate about him. Oh, is that what you appreciate about him, huh, Hefty Lefty? 888-368-1580. Ham Sandwich says, as a Michigan fan that likes to think, he's unbiased, I think JJ is better than people think. He wasn't asked to do much, but anything he was asked to do, he did well. He ran a profile guy. They had no shortage of top talent recruits at that position last few years, but JJ was chosen for a reason.
So does that mean he's like a system quarterback?
Well, they're all
everyone.
I don't know what that means. Like if you're in a system that doesn't.
Well, does that mean he only works in a system that runs the football X amount of times? And
I think it means he uses Windows 11.
That's the reason. Well,
Windows 11.
Well, the thing is, I think with him,
really.
I don't think that you can know that from watching him, and that's what makes him such a risky pick at 4. Is not that he didn't display the ability to play the game at a high level.
So let's say,
like the texter did, when he was whatever he was asked to do, he did very well.
So let's say the Giants pick him up. Is he able to run the Giants offense?
From what I have watched,
Saquon Barkley's gone. Remember that they don't have a running game now.
I don't know. And I mean, the Giants stink, and there's a whole lot of things they need to overhaul. If you're a young quarterback, you're going to probably struggle in that offense regardless. So maybe you shouldn't play if you even draft him. But then at that point, why are you drafting him at 4? So I don't know. I don't think that with JJ, there's so many question marks. I'm personally I would be scared of the pick. If I had to trade up for it, I'd be even more terrified because that's a great way to get fired.
Kyle G says McCarthy will fail as a day one starter. He needs to sit for a year or two first. If he would go sit behind Goff or Stafford or Cousins, he would come out and blow people away. As it is, he had a good combine. Now some bad team's going to ask him to turn their franchise around, and it'll ruin his career. Well, that's just the nature of things as it is now, Kyle G.
That's just football. I mean, there's so many teams that if you got drafted by them in the past, like your career's done. You got drafted by Washington in the past, like you're done.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says McCarthy kicked Ohio State's ass every time. They bring some of the best corners in the league and best pass rushers. Their defensive coordinators suck, though.
It's not that he can't play against high level talent. Does he do it consistently and often? And there's not enough on there to even say often.
Hefty Lefty says, I think it means that JJ is fresher than all the other quarterbacks because he hasn't had to do as much.
Fresh.
I mean, if he was a running back, that would be really nice. But as a quarterback, I need you to do more. Like one of the things that people underrated about Brock Purdy was just how much experience that guy had.
Beer Bob says, or you guys could join me down in Chandler for my beer event at a cigar bar during the draft.
Oh, dear God.
What?
We're listening.
So how blackout am I leaving there?
We'll be still on the air the next morning. You'll only just hear Randy snoring in the background. You'll hear the cops somewhere off in the background also taking a report. Mr. Then you'll hear Pippi yelling at Ralph. You were supposed to come home. Boogie says, or just do a remote at Christie's in the Waffle House and everyone can stay until like 10 p.m.
When you say Waffle House, what do you mean?
I don't know. I'm not going to Christie's.
No.
And just another face in the crowd says, spoiler alert, Keon. Vast majority of car stereos have a balance setting. You can switch between the left and the right channel. You're correct, but here's the thing. We're AM on the AM dial radio. Then on the FM, we're still just one channel because we're just a talk station. We don't need stereo. So
yeah,
I had a great idea except for that part.
Just you can't choose it.
Mono
Right.
FM.
Zacharoni says, I heard guy from USC. I must have missed part of the conversation, but you talking about Matt Leinart?
No, we're talking about Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, Matt Leinart wasn't ginger
or a Raider
or really any good. Ringless Joe says, Keon, you were clearly correct about Josh Allen. He sucks. Can't even make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well,
does
that's
suck.
I wish I could have a quarterback that sucks like Josh Allen does. I really
think he
do.
might have
I
been
wish that
sarcastic.
quarterback just. I mean, well, then why? I already admitted I was wrong. Your sarcasm is unnecessary.
And for some reason, just moments ago, he said Suns have a good matchup against the Nuggets. Prepare for them to go deep this year.
That's
Really?
that's some Stephen A. Smith levels of analysis.
Swazman says, actually, Swazman. I don't know why I said Swazman.
Swazman.
He's a total Swazman.
How you doing, Swazman?
Come on, Jay Cutler was a big-time quarterback. The Bears were about to go to the Super Bowl. Jay Cutler is a reality TV star, former NFL quarterback. He was pretty damn good.
No, he was not.
I remember
pretty damn
when,
terrible.
I mean, in college, maybe, but Jay Cutler, I remember watching him play a game against Washington, and he threw 4 interceptions to the same guy. Ooh, threw it to D'Angelo Hall just over and over and over again. 3 in the
thing
first
about
half.
Jay Cutler is our smoking Jay Cutler doll that we have in our studios there.
Smoking Jay. Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, I know you hate copy and paste, but look at these. No, I don't know. Thank God it wasn't a picture.
Why?
He says, before Stallion's resignation, McCarthy was completing 78.1% of his passes and averaging 225 passing yards per game with 18 touchdowns and 1 interception. After Stallion's resignation, he threw only 1 touchdown pass while completing 68.6% of his passes while averaging 166 passing yards per game in the final 5 games of the season.
Well, it's because Stallions.
It's not great, but also like sometimes you just gotta throw in rhythm. Like he doesn't get that because his offense was very Blake Corum centric, which is fine, but it means that you don't know anything about the guy. And so this rush to get him at 4 is just kind of crazy to me. He could be just fine. Like I'm not saying that he's going to be bad. It's just weird that with so many question marks, there are people rushing to the top 5 to draft him.
Hefty Lefty says, Christie's has great shredded beef nachos. Not even making a euphemism. You know, can I just say, Hefty Lefty, if you know the menu at most any strip club at the drop of a hat, you've probably been spending too much time there.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying.
I didn't even know that was a strip club. How did you know that?
Oh no, but Hefty Lefty's tweeted about it or texted about it
by.
before.
I was gonna say, you knew right away. I had no clue. I thought it was a restaurant.
I thought so too.
There's like a couple of strip clubs in the valley that are just ever since you're a kid you've heard about them. Band-Aids on Scottsdale, Christie's, and what are some other ones? I don't know.
I don't know.
Randy,
Candy store.
Randy,
Candy.
check your black book there.
I've heard of the. I've driven by the candy store, so I know that one.
Yeah.
That's not an actual candy store?
I thought it was
No.
and found out it wasn't.
Oh,
I was looking for a Hershey bar. I got a lot more than a Hershey bar.
Well, I told you back the story before where I
If you
was
go in the candy
18.
store, you're going to get a Hershey bar.
I was 18 years old, and I was like taking this girl on a first date, and I was like, let's go eat some dinner. And I was like, let's just find something. And we drove, and we went to Pinkerton's because we thought it looked like a Swiss chalet, so I thought it was a nice restaurant.
Oh, I
Turned
bet.
out to be the gayest of gay bars you've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
We just like walked right back out. We're like, I don't think they're serving food here.
Could have walked in with your volume meter.
Cardinal Art says, actually, Keon, Matt Leinart was a Raider dog.
When?
Yeah, we
Leinart?
were talking about
What?
drafts.
When did he
When
play
was
for the
Matt
Raiders?
Leinart a Raider?
He was like
drafted as a bust. The Raiders
drafted-
didn't
wasn't he a
draft
Cardinal?
Liner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he spent a week. on the
Yeah,
Raiders?
maybe he wound up on the Raiders, but he was already a bust by
Cardinals.
that point.
Mhm.
Cardinals drafted him.
Yeah, he
And
lived and
was,
died on the Cardinals.
and we're thankful for that because it's where
Dumbest pick ever.
Because you
Kurt
said
Warner.
which when a USC
it-
guy's telling you that, you
it-
just gotta.
Even at USC, we knew he wasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Kurt Warner came in after
Yeah.
him. So
yeah, I mean,
Thank God.
Reggie Bush and Lendell White, and somehow everyone was like,
I
Matt
could have
Leinert's
played-
the guy.
I could have played quarterback for them at that point. mean,
And
they were
that's the JJ McCarthy problem.
right. Exactly.
It's just a great running back is on your team with a great offensive line and a fantastic defense. And I just don't know if you can play.
Right.
Yeah. So I just want you guys to know that we've just got a flood of texts and they're all about strip clubs.
Well,
I don't know if I want to.
I mean, I know you don't want to read anymore, but just understand that this
Get
is
your
not
pen, Keon.
surprising
Get your
because
pen.
we have degenerates listening to this show.
Get your pen ready. 'Cause you get
Many,
some- yeah.
apparently.
Quiet Cannon says Buffalo
okay.
Bills need a running game besides Josh Allen. He's under too much pressure for
Yes.
running the ball.
He is
Yes.
he is the passing game and the running game.
That's the problem.
Against the spread says I got some inside Bears information for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Jay Cutler had a body double like Vladimir Putin. Cutler would hire Stephen Baldwin to play quarterback for big games. That's the truth.
Hmm.
I don't feel like Stephen Baldwin could handle any sort of playbook. Gamecock.
Not a playbook.
Gamecock says the Alaskan Bush Company is here. The one in Alaska, though, is way better.
There's one in Alaska?
I mean, it's called Alaska.
Is that a strip club?
That's what they're telling me.
Alaskan Bush
Huh.
Company.
Beer Bob says, I saw this possible trade, so might be a question for Donnie, but who would you guys rather have, McCarthy or trade Justin Herbert? Get Justin Herbert from the Chargers. Chargers draft JJ with Harbaugh there. Start the LA Wolverines.
Not a chance.
Hefty Lefty says, I'm a fan of strip clubs. Didn't you just get married or something?
Well, yeah, but you know, if you have you're married to somebody who doesn't mind or doesn't care or will
What?
go with you, which
Or you
those
met there.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he says, well, I know
is there
what
any
they
destiny
offer.
or
I know what they don't. I don't make them out to be anything they're not. I just like to look at boobs. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a
Have
man
you
who
told
knows
your
him.
wife that?
It's a man who knows himself.
Mhm.
Baker's Cocky Hen says they serve sausage at Pinkerton's, Jeffrey.
Excuse me?
All types, too. Is that still around, I wonder? Yeah, Ralph, do you go there? Is it still around?
I
Pinkerton's?
have a clue.
Highlighter at 12th and Highland says Justin Leatherface in the crowd. Pinocchio says Skip Christie's, Dirties on Grand Avenue. There's a place actually called Dirties.
Boy, that sounds like a place I want to be as far as humanly possible away from.
You
Like
want to eat there?
other side of the yeah.
Oh, Pinocchio
Eat
says they have a
food at
$5
Dirties.
steak special.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, there might be a reason it's $5.
Highlighters in 12th and Highland, according to Just Another Face in the Crowd, has been there since the 1960s. And so have the dancers.
So are the dancers.
They still have the same dancers there.
Hello, honey. How are you?
That's a rough club.
Say hi to your
Watch-
mom.
Watch these babies swing.
Look at my feet. You'll see some nipples. Quiet Cannon says, but I reread that. Cardinal Art says, you made a comment saying he was never a Raider to someone else's text. Run the tape, Brandon.
What?
I don't know. Sometimes the text program changes names.
I didn't say anything about Matt Leinart.
I think he was talking about me, but he was asking you to run the tape, which is weird because I have access to the recording, but that's
And
fine.
we don't use tape.
Yeah.
And
Taco.
also, I was, and maybe I just wasn't clear. I could have communicated that better.
Taco Kenny has a great story.
He wasn't a bust as a Raider. He's already
Taco
bad when
Kenny
he got there.
says, I met my wife at a strip bar.
Oh, no.
She arrested me there. Nuh-uh. Come on, pictures or it didn't happen.
I don't.
Is your wife really a police officer and she arrested you? Come on, that's like raising Arizona stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well.
Lost Toby says, I ran into CP3 and James Harden at Jaguars when they were both on the Rockets. I don't know what that is or where that is.
That's
It sounds like Houston.
Jaguars?
Yeah, I mean, they were in Houston, the strip club capital of Earth, and James Harden lived in strip clubs, so that makes perfect sense.
Big George says, I'm sure that if Ralph was on the show back in 2006, he'd be spouting vitriol about how the Cardinals would be stupid not to draft Matt Leinart at number
No,
10.
absolutely
Just like
not.
how he is doing with that USC guy, Caleb Williams, this year.
Every USC fan knew Matt Leinart was not that good. The team around him was amazing. All he had to do was just basically breathe.
I can back Ralph up on this. I had many friends from California, and they were just like they couldn't believe that there were drafts that had him in the top 10.
Right.
You genuinely
Way to go,
stunned.
Cardinals. Gamecock says Spencer Rattler going top 15. Mark my words.
No way.
Maybe.
Spencer
No way.
Rattler.
You
Mark
can't
my
say
words.
mark my words and follow with maybe.
Spencer
It's the,
Rattler?
not only is not maybe Spencer Rattler is lucky if he goes in the third.
I'm thinking fifth,
Like,
but yeah.
like someone's gonna probably reach for him just because he does have like all of the tools that you want from a quarterback, except for the stuff between his ears. It just his guys doesn't have sense.
It's been like that since high school too. When he was
Yeah.
at Pinnacle, he's always had issues.
Oily Stool says, if you guys are looking for a nice strip club, you should go to the Great Canadian Beaver Company. Okay. I really don't want you guys to suggest anymore. We're not looking for them. Nobody on this show is going to a strip club. All of us are either married or are lying to somebody about going to strip clubs. So I just think it's best we stop doing this.
So does that mean Keon's lying?
What? Taco Kenny.
I'm dating because I'm not married. So
that means
just to be clear.
Taco Kenny says, yeah, his wife was a Phoenix Police Department sergeant. Has him in check.
Really?
That's amazing. That's a story you just probably don't tell the kids, though. You know,
why not?
Definitely tell them.
8984 says maybe the guy is thinking of Jamarcus Russell instead of Leinart for Raider busts.
Jamarcus Russell was the guy that Randy was thinking of.
They do look alike.
Jamarcus Russell,
biggest bust ever.
He had such a huge arm. Everybody just fell for that and not all the other things that he can't do, including study.
Probably him, Ryan Leaf, and Vince Young, three of the biggest busts.
It is interesting. We're talking about the biggest busts, and people are still texting in about strip clubs.
I don't know that Vince Young was a bust for like football related reasons. The guy just mentally,
nothing between the ears.
Very fragile.
Yeah.
Listen, speaking of nothing between the ears, because I don't have a better segue, it's time for a break. When we come back, we got On This Date in Big George's sports history and I don't know, whatever else. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppable in wash scent beads.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Need a boost in capital or a flexible line of credit for your growing business? Hi, I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital. I can help you get the money you need fast. The process is a breeze with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. So call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps in Arizona looks like more than 27,000 members, 29 million hours served, nearly 75 million in scholarships, millions of lives changed. When you sign up for AmeriCorps in Arizona, you make a difference. Also, earn a living stipend, plus education scholarships. Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. That's serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
I'm here to tell you about a technological shocker. Believe it or not, you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
That's shocking.
Wow. What a world we live in. All you have to do is say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, as you know, they went ahead and, they banned a guy for life gambling on the NBA. Jonte Porter, go bye-bye. He bet millions of dollars, and they finally caught up with him, and that's the end of that guy. But then the NFL just reinstated 5 players who were suspended for gambling. Kind of like, all right, you see what happened to that guy in the NBA? All right, get back in there and don't you screw up again. But Quintez Cephas is back. CJ Moore is back. Demetrius Taylor is back. Rashad Berry is back. And Shaka Toney is back. So all those guys were suspended for the entirety of last season. They will be back. Tony is on the Commandos there, you know. So I guess they're going to have him back on the roster. The rest of the guys are all now free agents. So I don't think this affects whether they get picked up or not, right? They're just gonna go do a workout and then they're fine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're cleared by the league, most teams are probably going to be okay with that. I don't think these are big money guys that you're paying. Like there might be a little bit more hesitation if you thought you'd be giving somebody a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract. I don't know that that's most of the guys that you just named. So yeah, I think they're probably clear to go.
So those guys were gone for a year. That was a pretty good example. Adam Silver is like, hold my beer. Bam, banned for life. So do you think that the NFL would ban anybody for life?
They could, but these guys, I don't believe anybody had anything that rose to the level of what Jonte Porter did, which is like betting specifically on their sport and then betting against their team and manipulating things. Plus, I also think the NBA has a worse history of betting influencing their games. And so like they had to act in a way the NFL doesn't, but someone pushes that line in the NFL, they could be done and it would be Roger Goodell wouldn't lose sleep.
I saw a guy take a running start down a hallway and kick a gal in the head, and he's still playing in the NFL. So
yeah, well, that didn't mess with the money, sadly. Not enough people saw that and said, I'm not watching this, or I'm not betting on this. But when you're talking about betting, because it's the same thing with Jonte Porter. Jonte Porter did much worse things than what he got kicked out of the league for. You know, had this bizarre relationship with someone who was underage, domestic violence stuff. Yeah, none of that stuff got Jonte Porter kicked out of the NBA. He messed with the money. That's why he's out. And it's the same thing in the NFL. Ray Rice, they were trying to keep him in the league. Man, you know, like
that kid from the Terminator movies was right. We're not going to make it, are we?
Probably not. But the priorities of those leagues is money, and the betting is where the most money, or the most new money anyway, is coming from. And they don't want to mess that. And if someone is betting on games and putting that in jeopardy, they will be gone.
At what point do you think these major leagues get the betting companies out of sponsorship, or do you think that ever happens?
No, the only thing they'll do is
hypocritical.
They'll go the opposite direction. They'll try to get rid of the sorts of bets that players can affect singularly by themselves. Some of the prop bets and other things. They're gonna crack down on the players and the bets that are possible to make before they ever remove it as a sponsorship.
Yeah, they're going to try everything but getting rid of the betting.
So hypocritical, though,
it's very hypocritical. I mean, but the thing is, they're not the only ones that are being hypocrites. It's kind of everywhere. Like one of the best reporters for the NBA, Shams Charania, broke the story about Jonte Porter The man is endorsed by FanDuel. His podcast has FanDuel as a sponsor. It's ESPN has a bet. Well, I mean, it's not their thing that they run, but they slap their name on it. So now how critical can they be of sports betting when ESPN Bet is a brand that exists?
Yep.
It's just all of these, there's so many hypocritical elements to this than just the leagues. The leagues are going to point to, the media companies who are the only people capable of maybe sometimes holding them accountable and going, but what about you?
I can just say right now, I don't believe this next text at all. Just want to put that out there before I read it. Oily Stool says, my wife is a Canadian mounted police officer with the RCMP. I met her on a prostitution sting operation at a downtown Edmonton hotel, and we've been happy ever since. I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one.
Were you also a police officer, or were you a John? And then she's like, listen, I got to arrest you, but I think you're cute. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. It is unbelievable in the literal sense that nobody should believe that.
Got a lot of random text right here, so you try to stay with me. Rough Rob says, afternoon, guys. So is Trevor Bauer allowed to come back and pitch in Major League Baseball after this? Yeah.
He's allowed, just nobody wants him.
I think people want him. I think they're just afraid of pissing off old drunky drunk, Manfred.
He's playing in Mexico right now.
I bet it's nice there right now. Just trying to put a good spin on it. Sorry. Navy Devil says the biggest bust was probably the kissing bandit who ran out on the field and kissed players back in the late 80s.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, who's complaining about that? Except for then you see a couple of weeks later, some of these guys in the outfield with these cold sores. It's like, damn
Black
it.
guys.
Taco Kenny says, I suggest Ojos Locos Sports Bar in Mesa, gentlemen. Got to go. Wife's pulling up later.
Uh-huh.
Hefty Lefty says, I remember Keon went to the most famous gentleman's club in Atlanta, got the lemon pepper Lou Williams wings, the only club he's ever gone to.
Yeah. Why do you remember that so clearly? It's not something we talk about a lot.
How does he know that?
It came up once. We were joking about strip clubs at one point,
Oh,
but
I thought he was stalking you. I'm like, that's really weird.
no, but it's still weird that you remember that vividly.
He's just like kind of hovering back towards.
I don't
the
even
curtains.
remember saying it really, but I know we must have talked about it because it's the only one.
You said it.
Okay, yeah.
Spearmint rhino action.
It's just a.
Oh, Oily Stool clarifies. He said, I should have prefaced that I was actually working at the hotel at the time as the hotel manager. I'm not a John. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Okay, no, that's not our mind in the gutter.
Don't look at us.
You
You're
literally
the one mountain to Mountie.
You created a scenario where the most likely conclusion was that you were a John.
Is he mounting her or is she mounting him?
Oh my
I mean,
God.
she's a Mountie.
Imagine it can go either way. It's none of my business.
wow.
It's just none of my damn business is what I'm trying to tell you.
Really it is.
So Zay Flowers is, I guess, okay. He's not. I mean, I guess there wasn't enough evidence for them to take action, so the police investigation is ended, and Zay Flowers is he's back with the NFL, cleared to do what he wants. Rashi Rice catching passes from Patrick Mahomes right now in Texas. They're saying it. Well, as we've done in the past, we'll just wait for law enforcement to take place, then we'll go from there. Got to remember Andy Reid's kid? That's what I'm saying. Rashi Rice is going to catch as many balls until they put him in a car and they take him away in handcuffs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs don't care. The Chiefs don't care what you've been up to. So, to be fair, he didn't kill nobody. He kind of hurt some people, but they've already launched a lawsuit against him for over $1 million, maybe $10 million.
Civil lawsuits, but nothing criminal.
It's a dumb thing to drive 119 miles an hour and race and putting your lives and other people's lives at risk.
Yep.
But again, it's not a dead woman or a live child. So, that's the rule. That's the rule.
Yeah. It's just so crazy to me that the NFL used to be incredibly strict about this stuff. Like early Roger Goodell, that would not have flown. And now the guy's off in a bar somewhere. Like he doesn't seem to care the way that he used to. And like you could always talk about maybe he was a little too aggressive with some of those punishments, maybe acted a little bit before there was a ton of evidence. But to me, that was a process you could fix, not just forget about because I don't know. I can't even think of a good reason. Like there needs to be some way to show players that football, and this is not just a football thing, this is like an athlete thing, but you're playing professional sports. That is not a right. That is a privilege. And if you do something that puts the public in jeopardy, you forfeit that privilege.
Hefty Lefty says, I remember a lot of random things from the show. You do. You really do. It's always amazing how many people remember random things. They'll come up and say, hey, remember the time? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't remember that.
I don't remember what we talked about yesterday.
Oh, speaking of cranial things, this is exciting. I don't know how this is going to play out, but the FDA has approved rapid concussion blood tests. They can use them on the sideline. So if you're not sure if somebody got a concussion, you just poke them, get a little blood from them. Yeah, you got to sit down. Because here's what happens. I guess this is called the iStat alinity test. It can detect two proteins released into the blood when someone suffers a concussion. So they say it's 95.6% efficient at ruling out concussions if the test is conducted within 24 hours. So the guy gets clonk. They're like, all right, give him that test. Nope, he doesn't have the proteins. Let him go back in.
So is that something? That's probably something they're going to do in the blue tent, right?
Feel like that that's okay. So if it's a test to say, yep, you do have a concussion, well, then that is in the player's best interest. But if it's saying, oh, we got a test that'll tell you don't have a concussion, that's in the NFL's best interest.
Yeah,
liability.
But I do think that if you combine that with the other concussion symptoms, you might have a better read on what is and is not a concussion.
I would be afraid that they use these results, or they poke a guy who didn't just get his head hit and go, well, the blood showed he didn't have the protein. We sent him back in.
That's probably going to be part of it, because look at what happened to poor Tua.
Look for the intern with all the pokes in their arm.
The Tua was the most concussed I've ever seen a person, and that quarter the guy was back. I just.
It's like, you remember that the movie Meet Joe Black when Brad Pitt gets hit by all those cars? That was Tua.
Yeah, and then they played a short week. It was like Sunday, and then they played Thursday Night Football. He got concussed again.
All right, we're running out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1960, Ted Williams became the first Major League Baseball player to hit a home run in 4 different decades when he blasted a pitch from Washington Senators right-hand pitcher Camilo. Too many facts in this. I don't need to know all this,
Really?
George. No, it's too much stuff. He was the first guy to hit a home run in 4 different decades. I don't think we need to know that this happened at a opening day loss at Griffith Stadium to the Red Sox. I don't think we need all that. Do we need all that? I don't think we need all that.
Not really.
Well, apparently not.
I guess Vince Carter's the NBA
This
version of
story
that
is
guy.
over, Jack.
I've just a lot of information that I didn't need.
I get it.
Here's what you need to know. Ted Williams became the first Major League Baseball player to hit a home run in 4 different decades, and his head is frozen in a closet down the street from the radio station in Scottsdale.
Yep.
That's all you need to know about this. I don't mind a lot of good details, George, on some stuff. But when you put the name Ted Williams into the history thing, frozen head, what are the facts? That's it. That's all you need.
Well,
the relevant facts, that like who threw the pitch is less important than just,
And there were
that he hit a homer in 4 decades.
28,652 in attendance.
Oh, no, he does that. He
day.
sends that info in. He's a
And
lawyer,
the,
so he
air
gives me all the
temperature
information.
at the time was 76.8 degrees
It's
with a
it's-
relative humidity of 20%.
It's the most litigious On This Date in sports history ever done everywhere.
Wow. Keon with big words again.
I hope he doesn't sue me for all that. That is the thing that's very interesting. For all the lawyers we have listening, I am shocked that we haven't been served yet. From Big George? You mean by any of them? I mean, he is supposed to be representing us. He is supposed to be
our legal counsel.
But Lost Toby,
Why I think that he's not going to serve.
so Lost Toby, he's a lawyer for the ACLU. I am sure I've done something to piss them off at some point.
Ooh, haven't we all?
I know. No, George, we can't interview Ted Williams' head. I feel like it'd just be a one-way conversation right now. He'd be a little bit frosty to all the. Okay, we'll just go home now. That's it. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Everybody, have a great night. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.